Essay is a very different paper in UPSC. Why it's a very different paper in UPSC? You have paper 1, paper 2, 3, 4 for your GS. Do you have? Yes. You have optional? Yes. You have essay also. So essay is quite different from what you have in your GS or in your optional. Why essay is a different paper? Syllabus is? It's not given. Today we'll discuss that also, and we'll try to read between the lines what UPSC has said in its 3 lines of the syllabus. Okay. Now, why this is a different paper? Because if you have gone through the papers of your GS or your optional, there are compulsory, like GS 1, 2, 3, 20 questions are there. All questions are compulsory. Okay? Do you have a choice? No. Okay? You don't have a choice. But here in essay, what is there? Essay में, have you seen there are 2 sections? Section A, you are given 4 questions. Section B, you are given 4 questions. And then you have to choose as per your choice, whichever topic you want to. They are not saying कि आपको यही करना है. In your GS, they are asking you to explain, elucidate, illustrate, describe, discuss, critically analyze. But here in essay, they are simply giving you a statement and they are giving the ball in your court. अब आपको जैसे समझ में आता है, you write it. They are not telling you that you have to elucidate this, you have to discuss or critically analyze this. Like we had, have you gone through the previous year question papers? देखा है? नहीं देखा है तो प्लीज देखो. ठीक है? यूपीएससी शुड बी, योर टारगेट शुड बी टू क्लियर यूपीएससी इन 1 go. If not 1, at least 2. Don't make it a target of Panchvarshya Yojana. ठीक है? So please see the question papers. So the question papers, if you see, they just give you a statement. With great power comes great responsibility. अब समझो जो समझ में आ रहा है, उसमें लिखो जो लिखना है. Can capitalism bring inclusive growth? ठीक है? Water disputes in federal India. Just one statement. So this is a very different paper. Here you are not being directed or dictated by the UPSC that you have to do this with this topic. It's up to you. ठीक है? Even page, like huge space is given. Now for from last year onwards, they have been dividing the paper for essay also, but otherwise पहले तो बिल्कुल खाली blank, जितना लिखना है लिखो. That kind of thing was there. And then in essay, you can get as low as 30, 35 marks and as high as 165 plus. This time, few of my students have got 165 marks and many of them have got 150 plus. Earlier 100 was an average. Nowadays the average is 120 this year. सुना होगा, बात की है seniors से. So the average is 120. 120 earlier it was a very good score, but now it's just an average score. So in essay paper you can take a lead from others by 70 marks, by 80 marks, by 90 marks. Because why? In GS you get the questions. If it is stated that what is the women empowerment policy of government of India, खुद तो नहीं बनाओगे ना, जो है वही लिखोगे. You don't get that edge. The only edge you get is how you are writing. That's the only thing that you get. But here nothing is there. Everyone is free. जो समझ में आ रहा है, it's like a plain canvas. Whatever you want you can draw. So this is the beauty of this paper, essay, है ना? Now before we proceed, I would ask you people, what all doubts come in your mind when we say that, when we see the essay or when we think about UPSC essay? I will be talking about UPSC essay, not other essays, because essays are of different kinds. We write in universities, we write for our reviews. There are different kind of essays. Literary essays are there, universities essays are there, you go for jobs, job essays are there. We will not be discussing those essays. We are just focusing on UPSC essay. ठीक है? So what all doubts come in your mind? Tell me. Freely बताओ, क्या क्या दिमाग में आता है when we think of essay? Because I will write these things here and then in the due process we will see whether we have covered these doubts or not. ठीक है? बताओ क्या क्या doubts आते हैं? Someone said sequencing. How to select? I said this is a workshop. So, two-way approach. Tell me, what else? यही है ना, whether or not diagram, okay? What? Flow charts, mind maps. What else? Introduction, conclusion, है ना? How? What else? Time management. Subheadings or not headlines, subheadings it is called. Subheadings or not. What else? Quotes. Facts. What else? ऐसे में क्या क्या आता है हमारे दिमाग में? What are the questions that erupt when we think about writing essays? Continuity. How to bring flow, or what you call sequencing that we have done. How to bring flow. यूज ऑफ जार्गन्स. जार्गन्स के साथ एक और चीज होती है. वन ऑफ द मोस्ट कॉमन क्वेरी इज, कैन वी राइट समथिंग इन हिंदी? Or if someone like 2-3 days back only someone called me up and he said, ma'am, I have Punjabi literature as my optional. Can I write some good quotes from Gurumukhi or not? ठीक है? Quotes in other medium. If you are writing, how many of you are writing essays? Like how many of you have Hindi medium? You have? Good. How many of you have English? Most of you are having English as a medium. Okay. There is hardly any difference between this. ठीक है? ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, English या Hindi. The only thing is how you are writing it. So these are the general kind of things which are always being asked. कि ये क्या है? हाँ?
Opinion. How to include your opinion.
How to include your opinion. How? What else? Word limit तो follow करना ही है. Yes, of course. What is the word limit right now? UPSC is giving 1200 words per essay. 1200 words. You can sum up your essays with 700 words also. That's not an issue. People are scoring good marks with 700 and 800 words also. So that the maximum word limit, you should not go beyond your maximum. Because maximum UPSC has given, minimum it has not said. So just somewhere in between we can think of. ठीक है? और भी जो questions आएंगे आप मुझे बताते जाना. ठीक है? How many of you are not comfortable in Hindi? Someone from South India who is not able to understand even a single line of Hindi, please tell me. I can repeat if I say something in Hindi, I can repeat that. Because that's the problem. कभी कभी होती है, तो don't feel shy that I am not able to understand this. If you are not able to understand if I have said something in Hindi, please do tell me, I'll repeat the thing in the English. ठीक है? Okay. Now, the very obvious question, what is an essay? All of you have been writing essays? लिख रहे हैं? Those who have not written essays, please tell me. I suppose all of you are graduates. School में लिखा? हाँ? Not for UPSC, but लिखा है ना? My question was, how? मतलब all of you have written essays, or all of you have written UPSC essays. That vigilance, ठीक है? That is also required in UPSC preparation. Okay. Anyways, so what is an essay? बहुत सिंपल तरीके से बताओ, what is an essay? Expanding a particular topic, okay. It's just a piece of writing on any subject. Simply put, है ना, whatever you are writing, your thought process, that's an essay. ठीक है, essay can be as long as like 5,000, 10,000 words. It can be as short as your 500 words also. Small essays can also be there. Okay. Now, what do you think? What does essay test in an individual? What is being tested when you write essays? Why I am discussing all this? Because just standing here and telling, आप सब heading लिखो, चाहे मत लिखो, you can draw diagram, you cannot draw diagram. This will never fetch you good marks, average marks. First you need to understand why the essay is being asked. If you understand the demand of the essay, the demand of this particular paper, then only you can give the supply. Supply तो तभी होगी ना जब आपको डिमांड पता होगी. तो टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस, बिकॉज दिस इज नॉट योर पेपर 1, 2, 3, 4, दिस इज अ वेरी डिफरेंट बॉल गेम ऐसे. ठीक है, वेयर यू कैन स्कोर. सो फर्स्ट यू शुड अंडरस्टैंड. ठीक है, सो व्हाट इज बीइंग टेस्टेड व्हेन essay is given to you? Why the UPSC is giving you essays? What they want to test in you? Okay, multi-dimensional aspects. What else? Thought process. Okay. In-depth knowledge. Okay. Simply just give me an answer. What happens if a essay topic comes before you? क्या करते हो आप? क्या होता है? If you are getting a essay topic, if I give you this is a essay topic, so what will you do? First you will think, understand, and then you will write. यही करते हैं, simple वही होता है. You will first understand, then you will think about it, and then you will write. Simply you will think. Before that you will understand the topic. Then you think and then you write. So when you think, what do you think? What is being tested? Is it a test of your knowledge? Yes, your knowledge is being tested. How? On what basis you are thinking? You are thinking on the basis of whatever you have read or whatever you have experienced or whatever you have seen. Essay में it is said that कि आपने, if you have seen something in your childhood and if it is fitting somewhere in your essay, you should include that. That gives a different approach rather than just a scholarly kind of a approach, practical approach. See, this essay is being asked to a would-be administrator. Would-be administrator. You all are a would-be administrator right now. So expectations are very different from a journal essay writing. So when you think means it's a test of your knowledge also, and that knowledge is whatever you have learned, whatever you have read academically as well as your life experiences, that is being tested. Okay, you understand means what kind of ability is being, your assessment skills are being tested, your thought process is being tested, your comprehension is being tested. Means whether your comprehension means whether you are understanding what is being asked, whether you are able to comprehend the difficult topics that are being asked. So your understanding, your comprehension is also being tested here. Then the way you write, when you write, what all is being tested? It is being tested when you write flow है कि नहीं है. It means whether you have a rational thought process, cause and effect relationship is there or not. Whether there is a rational thought process, whether you are able to take some decision, like if a question is being like something is being asked about your opinion. So whether you are able to conclude or take a decision based on your some logics or not, or irrational तरीके से. A would-be administrator who is irrational, why would UPSC welcome you in Missouri? Why should UPSC welcome you then? है ना? So it tests your these abilities. It tests your knowledge. Knowledge does not only mean your book knowledge. Apart from book, whatever you have learned in your life, through others doing also we learn things. So that is also being tested because you can use it in your essays. The way you are writing, your writing skill is, your linguistic skill, everything is being tested. ठीक है, ये तीन शब्द बहुत छोटे लगते हैं कि what we understand, we think and we write. But 3 processes में how many processes are there? Whether you are able to pick up the exact things that are required or not. That is also decision making things, because when you are getting a topic, you think randomly and you come across so many points. So do we need to write all the points? Your assessment skills. You have to assess the situation. Once you become a DM or you become an IPS officer or IRS, whatever position you get, you have to assess the situation. So assessment, that is also being tested. Whether you are putting everything or anything that is there, or you are assessing what is the demand of the topic, and as per that you are doing it. So everything is being tested when the essay is being asked. Okay? So there is one committee, I always talk about this in all the sessions, which has introduced essays, that is your Satish Chandra committee. 1993 it has introduced essay paper. And it has also given the rationale behind the introduction of essay paper. So we should be knowing कि अगर यूपीएससी ने एक 250 नंबर का पूरा essay का पेपर दिया है तो उसके पीछे कुछ reason है. तो what is that reason? If we know that, then only we can try to come very closer to the expectations of UPSC. है ना? So what does the Satish Chandra committee say? I'll just read it out. The Satish Chandra committee says that the candidates, means you people, are expected to prepare policy papers down the line. Who prepares the policy papers? Is it the politician or the bureaucrats? Even if you go to UN, it's not the politicians, it's the bureaucrats only who prepare. So down the line, if you get selected, and down the line of your 30, 35, 40 years of service, you will be making policies. ठीक है? You will be drafting memorandas. ठीक है? जितनी भी drafting होती है, policies होती हैं, whatever is the government actual work that is being done, that is done by the bureaucrats. So down the line you will be doing that. So that is why they are expected to prepare policy papers, notes, drafts and memoranda on a variety of subjects. Essay paper was introduced with the objective of testing candidates. Number 1 is your linguistic skills. ठीक है? Linguistic skills. Besides, capacity for comprehension. That is what we have said. Whether you are understanding it or not, your comprehension is being tested. ठीक है? Besides, capacity for comprehension, ability for critical analysis. If a question is being asked, like last year, can capitalism bring inclusive growth? That was the last topic of last year's essay paper. Can capitalism bring inclusive growth? So whether you are being able to critically analyze this issue or not, that is also being tested. ठीक है? So besides capacity for comprehension, ability for critical analysis, capacity for integrated thinking, means if you are talking about capitalism, you are integrating it with various aspects, social aspect, cultural aspect, political aspect, ठीक है? Technology and capitalism, how the various things can be integrated. Because if you have to write a policy on environment down the line, so you will think from various aspects, no? Environmental policy, how it is affecting the tribals, how it is affecting the locals, how the environmental policy is affecting your establishment of industries. You have to think from various aspects. So that is being tested in your essay. UPSC ऐसे ही नहीं एक 250 marks का essay डाल दिया उन्होंने. There has been a lot of thinking and reasoning behind introducing this. ठीक है? Capacity for integrated thinking, assimilation of ideas and clarity of expression. Assimilation means different ideas are there. So आप उनमें coherency कैसे ला रहे? How you are assimilating the various ideas and how you are expressing it completely and clearly. So that is what is the essay paper wants from you. Essay is kind of your personality test. ठीक है? वहाँ पे क्या होता है? इंटरव्यू में you go, you just speak out, but here you are just writing, and that is what UPSC wants to see, what kind of personality you are. Like water disputes in federal India, हर आदमी अपने हिसाब से सोचेगा, है ना? जो लिखेगा आपकी पर्सनालिटी उसमें झलकती है. Can we find out personality of a person through the writings? Yes or no? Yes, है ना? We know so many great people. We know Gandhi ji through his writings only. No one of us has ever met him, है ना? We know the various people. Even when you read the newspapers, if you see, okay, this is Praveen Swami's article, you have a picture in your mind. कि अच्छा प्रवीण स्वामी का है तो वो ऐसा ही लिख रहे होंगे. अगर ये आर्टिकल जो है आपका किसी सुब्बा राव का है तो समथिंग इट्स लाइक दैट. So what is this? This is your writing reflects your personality. Please understand this. Many times when I talk to students and I say, your each and every word that you are giving to UPSC, whether you are writing your GS papers or whether you are writing your essay or anything, means your personality is being reflected. Understand this. Your writing plays a major role in your personality. ठीक है? So इसलिए आपका ये essay का paper होता है. Essay is basically it's kind of it reflects your soul, what kind of person you are, and UPSC is testing through this. ठीक है? Now, the first thing is why it is there, essay. We have understood this. Now, if I say, has everyone understood this? Why UPSC is asking what is the demand of your essay paper? You have to go for integrated thought process. You have to present it clearly, multi-dimensional. Everything has been talked about by Satish Chandra committee. और वही हम जब ये करते हैं, when we think, what we do, when we write, when we understand, these comprehension, these writing styles, your cohesiveness, everything is being reflected when we do this exercise of writing an essay. Now, what according to you is a good essay? हम क्या ऐसे की इतनी बात हो रही है, यार उसने बड़ा अच्छा ऐसे लिखा था, ठीक है? तो what is that अच्छा ऐसे? What do you understand? How do you say this essay is good? यूपीएससी के लिए अच्छा ऐसे कौन क्या होगा? Who will tell you? Okay. UPSC itself tells you 3 lines of syllabus, and it itself tells you that this is what we demand from your essay. If you are somewhere near to our demand, your essay is apt for UPSC. But someone said UPSC में तो essay का कुछ लिखा ही नहीं होता है. So do we bother? Do we take out some time to read? If UPSC is giving 2-3 lines, does it have some meaning? Why UPSC is writing 2-3 lines? How many of you have read that 2-3 lines about essay that UPSC has given? Yes, what does it say? Yes, yes, yes. So UPSC, what is a good essay as per UPSC? It's told by UPSC only, but we don't bother. So I will read out the syllabus also, ठीक है? Because मुझे exam देना है, so I have to read out ना. Just listen. Those who have read it, very good. Those who have not read it, please at least read the syllabus. Syllabus in previous year question papers are key to success in UPSC. It's not only your essay. It's your optional, your GS, whatever. Previous year question papers give you a trend, what kind of things UPSC is asking as per the changing things, and at the same time syllabus. Because right now what happens when you read the newspaper, those who are beginners, 4 घंटा लगता है newspaper पढ़ने में, because everything is important. We don't know what is required. Who is going to tell you? Your seniors will say, यार सब पढ़ लो, पता नहीं क्या पूछ लेंगे. ठीक है, ये होता है. ठीक है, तो it's not like that. Please see the syllabus. UPSC never ever goes beyond the syllabus. Yes, the trend is changing. UPSC is mixing the question from paper 1 with paper 2. That is a different thing. But it's not anywhere beyond your syllabus. So please read the syllabus and see the previous year question papers. Then you don't need to go here and there to any coffee shop or चाय की दुकान पे यार अपने senior से पूछने यार क्या पूछ रहे हैं. UPSC is telling you, see it yourself, ठीक है? So what does the essay syllabus says? It says candidates may be required to write essays on multiple topics. Multiple topics. Since last 2 years, we are getting 2 topics. ठीक है? So multiple topics, first line. They will be expected to keep closely to the subject of the essay. They will be expected to keep closely to the subject of the essay. Means if they are giving a question like last year, they have given the question water issues in federal India. So you are discussing all the international water disputes and writing only 1 or 2 paragraphs about interstate water dispute. Then it's not, you might be writing right. Teesta likh diya आपने Brahmaputra likh diya with China. Those things are right, but whether it is the demand of the essay or not. So you have to keep closely to the subject of the essay. Then to arrange their ideas in orderly fashion. That's again UPSC is saying. You have to arrange your ideas in orderly fashion, not in haphazard fashion. कहीं पे कुछ लिखा, कहीं पे कुछ लिख दिया. You are not able to make out where is the head and where is the tail. So it should be in an orderly fashion. And to write concisely. Clearly बोला, someone said maximum limit. 1200 से ऊपर मत जाओ. UPSC syllabus itself says you have to arrange your ideas in orderly fashion and write concisely. Concisely means not very elaborately, briefly. Briefly does not mean that you are going to leave the important points. That's the art you have to learn. कि important points भी आपने लिखने हैं और concise भी लिखना है. Many times this is a very common problem. Many students say concise लिखने में points छूट जाते हैं. You have to learn how to write shortly. Drafting करना सीखो. When you write something, उसको और draft करो कि how less words can say these things. This needs practice, and the rewards are also very high. 170 marks you can easily get. Arrange their ideas in orderly fashion and to write concisely. Clearly UPSC has said credit will be given for effective and exact expression. Please don't write anything or everything that you know. If it is exact, पहले syllabus में उन्होंने बोला है. What happens is many times students they say मैम ऐसे में तो फाड़ दिया, बहुत लिखा. This is the term they use. मैम पूरा लिख दिया, बहुत लिखा है, नंबर आएंगे. भैया लिखा तो है, but whether it is exact or effective, that is the requirement of UPSC, or whatever you knew about that thing, you are writing anything. So that is also very clearly number कहाँ आते हैं? If it is exact and effective. So that is why if you are bringing exactness and effectiveness with just 700 words, you are getting marks. It's not that 1200 words तक खींचना ही है हमें जबरदस्ती. You can write up to 1200 words if you have the good material, good content, logical content, requirement of the exam, then it's good. Otherwise, please sum up concisely and bring the effectiveness and exactness. So that is your UPSC syllabus. Okay? So if you see what points come out of this is like you need some kind of a, what I always say is like fresh thinking. For fresh is what is required. Fresh is what? Fast. F for fast. Fast means there in the exam you have 3 hours. You have to write 2 topics. Then you have to select from 8 topics. And फटाफट लिखना भी है. You can't do justice to only one. Otherwise you will get 50 out of 50% में भी आपको और कम नंबर आएंगे. ठीक है? So you have to be very fast. Then R से rational. You can't be irrational. Fast, rational. E से effective. Your writing should be effective. Fast, rational, effective. S से क्या होगा? Straight. Hit the bullseye. Effective and exactness. This is what UPSC is saying. है ना? And H is holistic. Means different dimensions. So this is what is the crux of UPSC syllabus. Nowhere it's written, just I have made this acronym. But yes, F is your fast, you have to think fast. R is your rational, you have to think rationally. E is your effective, you have to be very effective and exact. S is your straight, because Exactness will come when you are straightforward. And H is your holistic, means you have to think holistic. ठीक है? Okay. You might have, आज के टाइम पे तो बहुत सारे आपके like institutes जो है ऐसे programs का online करते हैं. You might have heard about it. And there are so many programs where many of the toppers come and say, they say that अच्छा ऐसे होता है यार, मतलब you have to be very original. है ना? What do you understand when they say original? सुन के तो जाते हैं, सबको अच्छा भी लगता है कि हाँ यार ओरिजिनल होना है, बट व्हाट इज दैट ओरिजिनल? डू यू नीड टू बी अ आइंस्टाइन? You express yourself, okay? Yes. Do we need to be a discoverer or inventor? Original तो वही होते हैं ना? मतलब we don't have to be Einstein or some other scientist. So what do you understand when we say you need to be original? Means the way you are presenting the things, the way you are writing, because your observation in life, whatever you have read, whatever I have read, the same chapter of one particular NCERT is same, but how I have analyzed it, how I can explain it, what kind of examples I can give from my life, what kind of examples you can give from your life, the way of approaching that essay has to be original. Otherwise, यहाँ पे Einstein तो no one is there, no? So it's like you have to write your essays in a very your own way. That's why in the very beginning of this lecture I said I cannot teach you essays, because everyone has his or her way of writing the essay. You have to be original. Otherwise number नहीं आते. Average 100 number, 90 number, or as low as your 35 numbers, 25 numbers. So please बी ओरिजिनल जो वो बोलते हैं ना टॉपर्स आके, तो उसका मतलब यही है, बी ओरिजिनल. यू हैव टू, इट्स नॉट दैट यू हैव टू राइट समथिंग आउट ऑफ द बॉक्स. यार ओरिजिनल होने के लिए हम टॉपिक से डेविएट हो गए क्योंकि हमें तो कुछ ऐसा लिखना जो किसी ने नहीं लिखा होगा. नहीं, that's not required, because that might lead you to somewhere you might get haywired. So the thing is, you have to have your own approach. Find it out yourself. You write 1 or 2 essays and then that will give you the idea what kind of writing style you have, what kind of approach you have. So a good essay is where you have the person who is writing in such a way that your personality is being reflected. आपकी अपनी originality वहाँ सामने आ रही. That is a good essay. And at the same time, good language, good flow, good understanding of the topic. वो सारी चीजें मिलकर के इज अ गुड एसे, विच इज व्हाट द यूपीएससी सिलेबस ऑल्सो सेज. ठीक है, अब सिलेबस समझ में आया. स्पेशली यूपीएससी हैज नॉट गिवन एनीथिंग, यूपीएससी हैज गिवन बट वी डोंट बॉदर, है ना? ठीक है, यहां तक स्टोरी समझ आई? एनी डाउट्स, एनीथिंग अबाउट? बेसिक थिंग समझ आ गई ऐसे की, बिकॉज if you don't understand why we are writing, why essay paper has been introduced by UPSC, what is the requirement of your syllabus, then you are not going to write. बाकी तो सुनते रहो, ओरिजिनल लिखो, पैराग्राफ में कर सकते हैं, डायग्राम बना सकते हैं, ये भी कर सकते हैं, but you should at least understand and then find out your way. So now let's begin with the real topic, that is your essay. What all do we have when we write essay? What are the main components? One is your language, because your linguistic skills, Satish Chandra committee is saying your linguistic skills are being tested. Even I think your syllabus also says something about it. Effective and exact, write concisely. तो means effective and exactness means right words use करोगे तभी आपका exactness आएगी. At times we use wrong words. You wanted to say something, meaning turns out to be something else. So language is one component of your essay, and the other component is your content. And then content, how to arrange. How to arrange into what? Introduction, conclusion, and your body, main body, whatever you say. ठीक है? So these are the main things that is there in an essay one needs to know. Now, what do you think about language? Is it a test of language essay? Had it been a test of the language, then all the people who have your optional as literature would have scored maximum marks. English literature maximum marks, Hindi literature, Telugu, Kannada, Odia, Marathi, any literature, they would have scored the maximum marks. So it's not the test of your language in that sense, because UPSC also knows that maximum people who are appearing for civil service exams are from tier 2, tier 3 and are from remote areas. ठीक है, आप जो यहाँ पे जितनी भीड़ राजेंद्र नगर और मुखर्जी नगर में दिखती है ना, वो सिर्फ इतनी बहुत छोटे से भीड़ है. You see, every year UPSC comes out with the analysis paper. ठीक है, ये सब हम देखते नहीं है, हम सिर्फ अपने सीनियर्स की बात सुनते हैं जो चाय की शॉप में होती है ना. तो फाइंड आउट टाइम व्हेन यू डोंट हैव एनीथिंग टू डू, बोर हो रहे हो, तो वो एनालिसिस देखो. द एनालिसिस टेल्स यू विच एज ग्रुप इज गेटिंग सेलेक्टेड, व्हाट इज विच टॉपिक इज लाइक किसको कितने मार्क्स आ रहे हैं, टेक्निकल बैकग्राउंड, नॉन टेक्निकल बैकग्राउंड, रूरल बैकग्राउंड, दीज काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स. दोज हु हैव written the exams last year, since last 2 years UPSC is, while filling up the forms, it is giving you a feedback form also, whether you have joined coaching, what is your social strata, है ना, whether you belong to a remote area. तो क्या है वो ये रिसर्च करके एनालिसिस करता है जो हम पढ़ते नहीं है. ठीक है, तो ये चीजें हैं. तो इट्स नॉट अबाउट योर लैंग्वेज, इट्स नॉट दैट समवन इज कमिंग आउट फ्रॉम सेंट स्टीफन्स और जीसस एंड मैरी एंड गेटिंग द हाईएस्ट स्कोर इन एसे. नो, पीपल फ्रॉम रिमोट एरियाज एंड राइटिंग एज सिंपल एज दिस इज अ कैट, दिस इज अ बैट, आर ऑल्सो गेटिंग वेरी गुड मार्क्स. सो इट मीन्स this is not the test of your language, but yes, of course, it's a test of your language. तो उसमें वो क्या, what kind of language they are looking for. You are going to be a would-be administrators, so at least a decent grammatical correction should be required from you. If you are saying ki like my name is Ruchika, so you can, if someone is saying her she is Ruchika, his name is this, he teaches this, so this is wrong. If it is Ruchika, if she is a female, then you have to use her. So basic grammar, irrespective of the medium, whether it's Hindi, Odia, Telugu, Kannada, whatever language you are writing your essays, the basic language should be correct. Satish Chandra, sorry, this your Shashi Tharoor committee. Have you heard about Shashi Tharoor? Padha hai? Who is he? कांग्रेस से पहले छोड़ो, और क्या थे वो, यूएन में भी थे. So Shashi Tharoor committee report has come up, and the report clearly says the kind of people who are coming into Indian foreign services, they don't have good linguistic skills, and this committee recommendations are, there are high probability that this committee recommendation might be accepted. So if it is accepted, then people who are opting for IFS would be they might have to appear for a special paper of your language, whichever medium you are choosing, and add English language, and add, not whichever medium, sorry, it's English language, and at the same time one IR special paper will be there, because people getting good marks जीएस में रट करके और आईआर के बारे में कुछ पता नहीं है, लैंग्वेज के बारे में कुछ पता नहीं. तो दैट्स व्हाई इट इज सेइंग दैट द इनटेक ऑफ द पीपल हु आर इनटू आईएफएस आर नॉट ऑफ वेरी हाई क्वालिटी. सो द लैंग्वेज इज योर बेसिक मिनिमम ग्रामर शुड बी करेक्ट. राइटिंग, द वे आई हैव रिटन इंट्रोडक्शन शुड नॉट बी रिटन लाइक दैट. आपको शॉर्टकट्स में नहीं लिखना है. यू हैव टू राइट द फुल वर्ड इंट्रोडक्शन. डोंट राइट between, because we are using mobile phones, smartphones, we are using this kind of thing. No slangs, guys, no guys, it's boys. Okay? So no slang, because once, say for example, you become a secretary of Government of India and you are addressing a press conference, will you be saying you guys? No, you will not be saying you guys. So this, everything is being tested in this paper. ये मत सोचो कि टेस्ट नहीं होता है. No slangs, no shortcuts, and your language should be a respectful language. No unparliamentary language. Unparliamentary language, I hope you understand. There are few list of words. 2012 में Parliament has come out with you don't need to go through that book, but yes, that government is a rat. These kind of things, derogatory things, please, no unparliamentary language, no abusive language, it's not required. And your tone and temper, that also matters a lot. Tone and temper means एक पढ़ा लिखा इंसान अगर कुछ बोलता है और एक इंसान जिसको कुछ नहीं पता है और वो कुछ बात बोलता है, कहते हैं देखो उसने गवार की तरह बात बोली लेकिन बात तो बोली सही, बोल तो सही रहा है, बट द वे यू आर सेइंग इज डिफरेंट. अ पॉलिश्ड पर्सन जिसने थोड़ा पढ़ा लिखा है, थोड़ी समझ है, तो उसका बोलने का तरीका वुड बी डिफरेंट. यू आर नॉट गोइंग टू बिकम अ पॉलिटिशियन और केजरीवाल और लालू कि लोग हंसे और आपको वोट मिलेगा, ऐसा नहीं है. यू आर गोइंग टू बी अ वुड बी एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर. सो योर टोन एंड टेम्पर शुड बी द रिफ्लेक्शन ऑफ दैट. It should not be something कि कुछ भी लिखो tone and temper. You are not here to become politicians and get the votes. You don't need to be the radicalist when you are saying something against a adversary country. China के against कुछ बोलना, मुलायम सिंह ने अभी कुछ दिन पहले बयान दिया था. He has given some statement, but would be, have you heard this kind of statement from MEA spokesperson? No. So that difference you need to understand. ठीक है, आप यहाँ पॉलिटिशियन बनने नहीं आए हैं, आप यहाँ पे वुड बी सिविल सर्वेंट बनने आए हैं. सो दैट थिंग शुड बी always there in your language, because you are not sitting across the table and telling the examiner कि मेरा लिखने का मतलब ये था. वो तो जो पढ़ेगा वो समझेगा. ठीक है. And another thing, many of the students, they say we have opted for English medium because there is lack of material in Hindi medium. हमारी अंग्रेजी बहुत अच्छी नहीं है, पर हमने इसलिए रखा है because हिंदी में मटीरियल नहीं है. बहुत सारे बच्चे ऐसे भी होते हैं. ठीक है. सो प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड, दिस इज नॉट अ टेस्ट ऑफ योर इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज. You can write as simple. If you don't have good lexicon, if you have good vocabulary, if you have good lexicon, if you have good English, you can use it. No one is stopping you. But I am focusing on those who don't have it, so they should not feel undermined. ठीक है. आप लिखो, सिंपल लिखो, राइट स्मॉल सेंटेंसेस, डोंट राइट बिग सेंटेंसेस, बिकॉज one comma here and there under examination conditions will entirely change the meaning of your sentence. Write simple. Those who have bonus, good. Those who don't have, they are getting marks. I know a person last year, Asif Ali, he was my student, and he had such a pathetic Hindi because he belonged to a place where he has to walk for several miles to go to a school. From that remote area, from that humble background he has come. But he has tried to learn at least basic minimum English. सारा उन्होंने हिंदी मीडियम में पढ़ाई की थी. And he came to me and he said, "Ma'am, अंग्रेजी का क्या करें?" I said, "Just read NCERTs again and again. As simple as your NCERTs." NCERT की English पढ़ने में do we need a dictionary? No. When you read the Hindu, you like after every second sentence, initially you need a dictionary. So if you have good lexicon, very good. If you don't have, then excellent, because you will not write very complicated. ठीक है. तो आप बिल्कुल सिंपल लिखोगे. एनसीईआरटी की तरह सिंपल का क्राइटेरिया क्या है? एज पर मी सिंपल एज योर एनसीईआरटी इफ यू डोंट हैव एनी वेरी गुड बेस ऑफ इंग्लिश. सो दिस इज अबाउट योर लैंग्वेज. It should not be unparliamentary. It should not be derogatory. ठीक है. It should be simple, easily understandable, and it should be legible. Legible means आप जो लिख रहे हो, हैंड राइटिंग, many of them write like this कि लगता है कि वो केमिस्ट को दिखा करके पढ़ना पड़ेगा. ठीक है. Like doctors write prescribe the medicines and you go to the chemist, यार पढ़ो लिखा क्या है. ठीक है. So that thing should be there. And most of the people in the class are engineers. शॉर्टकट में लिखने की आदत होगी, डायग्राम बना करके. तो हैंड राइटिंग थोड़ा सा प्रैक्टिस करो. इट शुड बी, इट्स नॉट दैट यू हैव टू राइट लाइक मोतियों की तरह लिख रहे हो. वट एवर इज देयर, इट शुड बी लेजिबल, एंड द फॉन्ट साइज शुड नॉट बी वेरी स्मॉल. इट शुड नॉट बी वेरी बिग, because very small, because the person, see the examiners who are checking your copies understand their age. ठीक है. Why would they put themselves under pressure to read your things? जितना प्रेजेंटेबल बनाओगे, जितना इजी बनाओगे उनके लिए, एंड द सेम गोज राइट विद योर आंसर राइटिंग ऑल्सो. जो आप आंसर राइटिंग करते हो जीएस में भी, द फॉन्ट साइज शुड बी अ legible one. ठीक है? This is about your language. Now come, yes?
Actually, this casual language is shorthand writing we are not supposed to use. But what about the abbreviations of the government schemes?
Say for example, if there is any government scheme, बेटी बचाओ बेटी पढ़ाओ, ठीक है? Once you have written it, when you begin, at least in the initially you are writing बेटी बचाओ बेटी पढ़ाओ, and in the bracket you are writing बेटी बचाओ बेटी पढ़ाओ, and then if you are discussing the whole scheme and you have to take the name again and again, then you can use the abbreviation once, because otherwise if you are writing BBBP, what will be the examiner understand with BBBP? है ना, बेटी बचाओ बेटी पढ़ाओ. ठीक है? हाँ, क्या हुआ? Someone said something? Okay. Is it okay? यहां तक समझ आया लैंग्वेज का? जिसकी अंग्रेजी अच्छी है बहुत अच्छी बात है, जिसकी नहीं भी है तो घबराने की कोई बात नहीं है. बट यस, बेसिक ग्रामर शुड बी करेक्ट. एंड another very common problem is your using India, China, this thing, Mohan. This is wrong. This is not expected from you. I was a student of Majid Hussain sir. I had geography as my optional. ठीक है, माजिद हुसैन सर का नाम सुना है? ठीक है, तो वहां पे एक दो सर ये चीजें भी ज्योग्राफी में चेक करते थे. एंड यू नो व्हाट ही वाज द सुपरिटेंडेंट ऑफ एग्जामिनेशन इन यूपीएससी. ठीक है, ही यूज्ड टू करेक्ट व्हेन ही गॉट रिटायर्ड एंड देन ही एंटर्ड दिस कोचिंग इंडस्ट्री. ठीक है, तो सर बोल रहे थे कि इवन इन ए ज्योग्राफी कॉपीज दीज थिंग्स he used to circulate if someone used to write like this. Try to avoid that. GS में थोड़ा बहुत चलता है, but in essay like this or not equal, this thing should be avoided. Symbolic languages should be avoided. ठीक है? Language part, any other doubt? पक्का? Okay. Now comes your content. First thing is how to get the content. Arrange तो बाद में करेंगे, है ना? अरेंज तो हम बाद में करेंगे, बट द थिंग इज हाउ टू गेट द कंटेंट. कहां से कंटेंट कैसे आएगा? हाउ टू गेट द कंटेंट. अरेंज तो बाद की बात है. पढ़ के, क्या पढ़ के? What all we need to? From where will we get the content? Huh? Newspaper is just one thing. Yes. And the syllabus also says that you have to multiple topics and you have to have your effective and exact expression. This it says. So टॉपिक जो है आपका, जो भी टॉपिक है उसके लिए कंटेंट जो आपको लेना है, एंड वो ऐसे का कंटेंट है. जीएस से थोड़ा आपको अलग भी जाना है. ठीक है, एग्जाम्पल वही फेडरल वाला ले लो. मतलब इट्स अ वेरी इजी टॉपिक. व्हाई आई एम टेकिंग इट अगेन? बिकॉज एवरीवन कैन अंडरस्टैंड. देयर आर सम पीपल हु आर द बिगिनर्स. ठीक है, वाटर इश्यूज इन फेडरल, वाटर डिस्प्यूट्स इन फेडरल इंडिया. पॉलिटी वाले तो बोलेगा ओके यार ये तो मेरा ही टॉपिक आ गया. ठीक है, and I know 2-3 students who had polity optional and they had after the exam they said ma'am बहुत अच्छा था, हमारे टॉपिक से बहुत आए थे, and he did not clear the mains. ऐसे में नंबर कम थे. तो the thing is कि you have to think from various aspects. It's not that your content should be the reflection of your optional. बहुत खुश नहीं होना कि ये तो वही फेडरल इंडिया आ गया, पॉलिटी इज माई ऑप्शनल, सो मैं तो बस ऐसे में मुझे जितना पता है और किसी को नहीं पता है. There is a purpose behind asking this question in your essay. This is a simple question of your paper 2, polity. Why they are asking you in your essay? क्यों पूछ रहे हैं? है ना? तो कंटेंट आपका जो कंटेंट फ्रॉम योर नॉर्मल ऐसे फ्रॉम योर नॉर्मल जीएस शुड बी वेरी डिफरेंट. सो ये मल्टी डायमेंशनल सोचने का जो तरीका होता है, हाउ टू डू दैट, हाउ विल यू ब्रिंग दैट मल्टी डायमेंशनल कंटेंट जो है. कंटेंट इट्स नॉट ओनली कि एक टॉपिक आज डोकलाम चल रहा है तो वी विल जस्ट रीड वन आर्टिकल ऑफ एबीसी एंड देन वी विल मग अप दैट आर्टिकल. डोकलाम पे कुछ रिलेटेड आया, वी विल राइट दैट. You have to think multidimensional. And even in your GS now, they are asking you questions. They have asked you questions like geopolitics of South China Sea in geography, which GS में no one teaches you. In your optional, geography optional, you read that. They are asking you questions like paper 3, terrorism is a competitive industry. देखा है इस साल के questions? There no one is going to teach you how terrorism, no economics teacher will teach you terrorism, or no internal security teacher will teach you. It's a mixture of your, it's industry they are saying, terrorism they are saying, they are mixing your economics and your internal security issues. That's why I am saying please syllabus पढ़ा करो और क्वेश्चन देखोगे तो खुद लगेगा यार ये इशू तो इसका है, ये इकोनॉमिक्स का इन्होंने मिक्स कर दिया है. तो there you need this multi-dimensional approach. And believe me, this kind of things will go on, keep on increasing. 2013, there was one question like, there was no question of multidimensional in your GS I am talking about. Forget about essay. 2014, there was one or two questions. 2015, 1-2 questions. 16, they are increasing it. Why they are increasing it? Because down the line when you become administrators, 40 years down the line, the whole world will be, अभी भी सब इंटरलिंक्ड है और वो कितना ज्यादा हो जाएगा. तो आपको उस लेवल के एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर की रिक्वायरमेंट को यूपीएससी को दिखाना है कि आई एम द एप्ट पर्सन who is going to qualify for down the line 30 years, 40 years. I am the apt person. I have the ability, I have the capability, I have the ability for this interlinking thing. This is what is that is why they are asking you these kind of questions in your GS also. Okay? So, how to think that way, जो multi-dimensional होता है. Those who have attended my earlier classes also in essay or open sessions, those who have heard about, so they might be knowing that I usually do one exercise in the class, very small exercise. Okay? And this exercise we'll do it here also. I'll give you a topic, I'll give you time, you have to think for 5 minutes, whatever comes to your mind. And believe me, this process of multi-dimensional thinking really helps in your GS also. वहाँ जाके ये मत सोचना अब ये terrorism is a competitive industry, क्या लिखना है इसमें? Because if you develop that habit of multi-dimensional approach, you will definitely get the content. ठीक है? So let's take anything very common which is common to all of us. We will take any of the example and I'll give you 5 minutes. Whatever comes to your mind, right from your childhood. ठीक है? जहाँ से जो भी जितना भी आप अपने दिमाग को, because this multi-dimensional approach is just nothing, it's just a brain exercise. If you do it regularly, it will become your habit. So whether the question comes in your GS or in your essay or they put a question in your interview, fastly you can do that. It's just a brain exercise. And I really like doing it. And I always keep on doing this. So take anything which is common to all of us. Let's take phone. Phone is common to all of us. I'll give you 5 minutes. Think whatever you can think about a phone. Phone, yes. If you can think about a phone, then why can't you think about a complete topic? As small as a thing. Phone. Phone के बारे में क्या क्या आपके दिमाग में आ सकता है? Please write. Think from all aspects. I am giving you the simplest of the thing which is common to everyone. And I can bet that 5 मिनट के बाद आप जब सुनोगे ना तो आप बोलोगे ये क्यों नहीं मेरे दिमाग में आया, ये तो मुझे पता था. That thing happens. It's a very interesting exercise. Do it. It might appear childish, but down the line you will realize what's the importance of this exercise. I have many students who have come to me कि मैम ये exercise से हमें GS में बहुत फायदा हुआ है. phone. Whatever you can recall about phone, whatever you can think, जो भी आ रहा है, don't try to arrange the things. जो भी आ रहा है लिखते जाओ. Stress your minds जितना कर सकते हो. Think from your childhood also. जो कुछ सोच सकते हो. Nowadays, whether you are literate or illiterate, everyone knows how to use a phone. है ना? And most of you are engineers also. How many of you are engineers? Especially for engineers, please, essay के लिए you have to do the writing. Because engineering में तो लिखना भूल जाते हैं ना? तो essay में you have to write. So with engineers this is a very common problem. They say मैम लिखा नहीं जाता, इतने शब्द कैसे लिखेंगे? तो there is no way out. You just have to write, practice. And please don't use your cell phones or something. Huh? Many times नीचे करके टक 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 टक. Use your mind. No, this is for your benefit. I have seen in some of the classes, workshops, they do this. Time up? Huh? Okay. Now, one by one, you will tell me what all you have written about this phone. Yes? क्या दिमाग में आया? Huh? Communication device. Okay, someone said selfie. Okay. Do you know there is a selfie regulation government is making for certain monuments? Okay, what else? Simplify our lives. Okay. Okay, internet can be used. एक साथ नहीं, हाँ? I'll come to this side first. Yes. Sharing of media. Okay. One person, one point. Everyone should get accessible. Accessible. इससे आपको क्या क्या होता है? Knowledge, books, etc. Okay. What? Huh? Okay. Yes. Torch and other. Torch, camera, games, whatever. Okay. Now this side. Yes. Different types. Okay. Huh? Reduces crime, time. Reduces time. Increase. Okay, what else? Pull up, huh? Yes. Okay, industry. What? Wrong communication. Stop. Job. Okay. This is where you have to maintain that decency this is required from a would-be administrator. Misuse, okay. Okay, ठीक है, बहुत सारे points. Anything extra जो इनसे yes? हाँ? Yes. Huh? Okay. Location, or you can say GPS you can use. Safety. Excessive use. Yes.
Historical vintage that pigeons were used for communication. Now it is being debated that the radio frequencies towers are killing pigeons themselves. So
Yes. Birds, है ना? ठीक है? इसके. Okay. Yes. Huh? Yes. Communication. Modi always talking to Trump now. Okay. Yes. Okay. ठीक है. Okay. Effective in. Okay. It's a. Okay. Yes. Location. Affordable and yes.
Lopsided government policy that people don't have toilets but everyone has phone in the household.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Huh? Biometric authentic. Okay. ठीक है. Good. See, for a single object like phone, when you can think from so many dimensions, develop this habit. When you say, for example, initially those who have the problem of starting how to write, एक word ले लो empowerment, उससे empowerment word से 50 चीजें सोचो क्या क्या हो सकती हैं ना. उसी तरह आप poverty word ले लो and then slowly start taking the topic. Okay, see what I was expecting, nobody talked about, like I gave a topic about on phone, history, how it's from Graham Bell to modern day. Who is the cell phone किसने बनाया है? कभी? हाँ? हाँ नहीं मतलब inventor का नहीं. Yes, you can use that way also. कि birds too. You can start your introduction how the from days of the communication through pigeons, now the technology has led to a communication which you can keep in your pockets. You can. That's a good introduction. But I am saying. कहाँ से कहाँ हिस्ट्री में how the phone has started and how it has moved to your modern day smartphones from your Graham Bell to who is the modern day, कौन किसका है, क्या नाम है, सब यूज करते हैं but we don't have that curiosity to know. Everyone uses it. And you know in UPSC what kind of personality they are testing. Essay is also your personality test. They are looking for an administrator who has that inquisitiveness, curiosity to know. You are from North India, you are posted in Kerala. You are from South India, you are posted in Northeast. Then if you don't have the curiosity to know about the area, to mingle with the people there, then how will you be a successful administrator there? सन्स ऑफ द सॉइल वाला फीलिंग से वहां बैठे रहोगे तो यू विल नेवर बी अ गुड एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर. You know that if you are posted in, like if you are an IFS officer, you have to learn some language. Do you read in the newspapers whenever there is a change of higher officials, higher ambassadors and all, it is written that he is very proficient in Arabic language. He or she is very proficient in German language. So what is this? Curiosity. That curiosity is missing. Everyone is using that. Cell phone. Martin Cooper, have you heard about the name Martin Cooper? He is, उनको भी कहा जाता है, he is the person who has led to your modern day phones. Right from Graham Bell to this, how the phone has developed, how this whole industry have developed, that can also be talked about. When we are talking about employment generation, I was expecting you being engineers, you being the aspirants of UPSC, you will talk about M governance, M payments. What your Prime Minister says? Your Prime Minister says your mobile is your purse. आपका मोबाइल आपका बैंक है, आपका मोबाइल आपका बटुआ है, जगह जगह वो जाके बोल रहे. Why can't you use these things? What are the hazards of mobile? Social implications of mobile. सोसाइटी में क्या हो रहा है? On the one hand, we are getting closer, we are getting connected, but at the same time, what is happening through mobile? All the time, kids are getting addicted. Do you read in the newspapers why the crime in children is increasing? If you get an essay on why something, I am not giving you the exact terms, but the crux is why the youth is, आपका जो crime in the youth is increasing. One of the reason is this. Why can't you think from that angle? What kind of, because of this radiation, different kind of cancers are happening. He has also given the example of birds. Delhi, your state bird is sparrow, house sparrow. वो extinct हो रही है. One of the reason is this radiation. ठीक है, that can also be given. Your M governance, all those things, your direct benefit transfer and all those things, everything is getting linked to your mobile. So how the mobile has progressed, how the phone industry has progressed, right from your Graham Bell to this. How your social behavior is changing because of this mobile. How your culture does not only include your dance and drama. Culture also includes your literature, your way of writing. We are writing like this. आपको प्रोज भी देखना है, आपको कॉन्स भी देखना है. ठीक है? So think like that. Develop this habit of multi-dimensional thought process. It will not come in a single day. Initially when I said you write something on phone, some of you were किसी को लगा भी कि ये क्या what this thing is happening in this essay class. This has a purpose. ठीक है? Start, because I know initially no one can think multi-dimensional. Of course people can think, but what is the requirement of UPSC? This is a competition. You have to be against all the odds and come as a winner. So please do whatever you can do to win this race. Multi-dimensional सोचना शुरू करो. Right from your prelims, the way they are asking you questions, have you analyzed? The questions are not very straightforward. Some of the questions are very analytical. So this analytical exercise you have to do. Means they are putting topic of paper 1 in paper 4. Topic of paper 4 in paper 2. So you have to think. और ऐसे में तो ये help करता ही है. When I said like that common topic which is like easily understandable by all, the topic was your water disputes in federal India. सिर्फ हम उसमें 262 and in like tribunals, water tribunals का this Kaveri tribunal, this tribunal, खाली वो ही नहीं लिखेंगे. Does it have a social implication? Does it have a cultural implication? Do we have something from international arena that can help solve this problem? Does it have what kind of cultural implication we have with because of water disputes? What is happening to the unity and diversity in India? Telangana, Andhra, they are fighting. Water sharing के लिए मतलब अपने neighboring state within India we are fighting like hell. So you have to think multidimensional. So I would request, please take this exercise very seriously, though it looks very childish, but it really helps. Simple. This is you're sitting on a chair के बारे में 50 चीज आप सोचो. Develop this habit at least for 10 days. Start thinking multidimensional. If this is a pen, can it be used as a mark? It is used to mark. It can be used as a dart. It can be used to measure your length, breadth. It can be used to tell children this is W, this is H, this is I. So start thinking from various dimensions on few objects that you come across, and then slowly from objects move to the terms like empowerment, poverty, gender equality, and then from there sustainable development, and from there move on to the topics. This is how you have to move. Otherwise एक दिन में if you have high expectations from yourself कि एक दिन में ऐसे लिख देंगे और 140 नंबर तो आएगा ही आएगा, then most of you would feel discouraged. Don't expect too much from yourself. Step by step, people have been doing it. I am in this industry for the past 11 years, and I have seen step by step. And this particular essay program, I have seen on myself. I have scored good marks. I have my friends with whom we have discussed, they have got good marks. And then since I am in this industry, teaching industry, so many people, they have benefited. And every time, this time I was so happy to see many of my students were getting 150 plus. So these are the small things. एका number नहीं आते हैं. You have to do this. So how will you get the content? Content is first, because कितना याद करके जाओगे? यूपीएससी में आप कितने ऐसे रट के जाओगे, कितनों का कंटेंट याद करके जाओगे? फ्यू ऑफ द टॉपिक्स ओके यू कैन डू, लाइक एम्पावरमेंट, पॉवर्टी, सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट. ओके, व्हेन आई से सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट, मोस्ट ऑफ द पीपल ऑलवेज टॉक अबाउट एनवायरमेंट, बट डज ओनली सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट इज दिस? नो, it's beyond environment. So how will you enhance your knowledge on those things? So another thing I would suggest, like where to read from. Someone said newspaper. That part I will come upon in the end. One thing is, for topics like sustainable development, what is poverty, what is empowerment, please go to the websites of IMF or World Bank and see how they have defined it. ठीक है, poverty is lack of drinking water is also poverty. अगर आपको एक वाइडर होराइजन पता होगा तो आप मल्टी डायमेंशनल सोच करके अपने ऐसे में वो डाल पाओगे. Don't go to the Google and simple Wikipedia what does poverty say. Go to the IMF, go to World Bank and see the definitions of these terms. What is happiness? UPSC has asked you 2 years back in your ethics paper 1. ठीक है, sorry, question number 1. Ethics. What according to you is happiness? So when you read this happiness index, उसमें definition है what is happiness. Go to that. आपका ये खुलेगा. The horizon will widen and that will help you to get the content. When your horizon is widened, then only you will get the wider content. Otherwise, what will happen? You will choose the essays जो आपके अपने optional से related होंगे and you will think कि भैया इसमें geography से related है, सारी geography डाल दो. अगर सारी geography डालनी होती तो UPSC 4 लाइन लिख के ऐसे का पेपर और 250 मार्क्स का ऐसे का पेपर इंट्रोड्यूस नहीं करता. ठीक है, सो दैट इज वन थिंग. कंटेंट के लिए प्लीज, कंटेंट शुड बी योर ओन, ओरिजिनल. जो हम बात कर रहे थे, इट शुड बी ओरिजिनल. तो कंटेंट यहीं से ओरिजिनल आता है, बिकॉज व्हाट ही हैज रेड समवेयर अबाउट पिजन्स, समबडी हैज रेड समथिंग अबाउट समवेयर. तो आपके अपने ऑब्जर्वेशंस आ रहे हैं ना आपके ऐसे में, तो दैट इज ब्रिंगिंग ओरिजिनलिटी. This is original. Got it? Okay. Now, how to prepare the content? एक तो content ऐसे आप, you will do this exercise. ठीक है? I can only suggest, it's up to you. Start doing this exercise. It really helps. I can bet upon it. ये बहुत help करता है. ठीक है? Then, apart from that, फिर भी दिमाग नहीं, अगर एक्सरसाइज नहीं करना है, मैम ऐसे ही बोल रही छोड़ो यार वहाँ एग्जाम में देख लेंगे, तो अगर कुछ ऐसे भी हैं कि वहाँ जाके देख लेंगे तो ठीक है, आपकी मर्जी है, बट वहाँ जाके क्या देखेंगे, वहाँ कैसे कंटेंट आएगा. देन देन कुछ नहीं आ रहा है तो एटलीस्ट स्टार्ट थिंकिंग फ्रॉम पेपर 1 टू पेपर 4. पेपर 1 फर्स्ट टॉपिक इज योर हिस्ट्री, देन कम्स योर ज्योग्राफी, ठीक है. देन आप उसके बाद सोशल इश्यूज आ जाते हैं. कम टू पेपर 2 पॉलिटी, IR. पेपर 3 इकोनॉमिक्स इज देयर, इंटरनल सिक्योरिटी इज देयर, डिजास्टर इज देयर. पेपर 4 योर एथिक्स इज देयर. सो एटलीस्ट यू गेट द डायमेंशंस. कुछ भी वहां दिमाग में काम नहीं कर रहा है तो ये देखो कि पेपर 1 इज देयर समथिंग रिलेटेड टू, से फॉर एग्जांपल दिस फोन. हिस्ट्री, इज देयर समथिंग रिलेटेड टू दिस हिस्ट्री? तो ओहो, ग्राहम बेल से याद आ गया. हाउ, पिजन वाला एग्जाम्पल याद आ गया. ओके, ज्योग्राफी, हाउ इट इज इम्पैक्टिंग योर इकोलॉजी, एनवायरमेंट, एवरीथिंग कम्स इनटू ज्योग्राफी. रेडिएशन आपकी कैसे कर रही है, हाउ इट इज लिंकिंग द वेरियस ज्योग्राफीज, एज यू हैव सेड IR में हेल्प कर रहा है, तो हाउ दिस हैज रिड्यूस द ज्योग्राफिकल डिस्टेंस. Then come to social. How, what is the impact on the society because of these phones? These phones are even used as bombs by terrorists. डिफरेंट तरीके से फोन का यूज हो रहा है, नेगेटिव इम्पैक्ट भी हो रहा है. हाउ इट इज चेंजिंग योर कल्चर, लिखने का स्टाइल, बोलने का स्टाइल, एवरीथिंग इज गेटिंग, ठीक है. दैट इज, पहले जो था हम क्रिएटिव कल्चर में होते थे, आज के टाइम पे आवर किड्स आर जस्ट प्लेइंग विद द फोन ऑल द टाइम. सो हाउ इट इज इम्पैक्टिंग. देन कम्स योर साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी. सो दोज हु आर इंजीनियर्स, दे कैन पुट अप सम इनपुट्स अबाउट हाउ द टेक्नोलॉजी फ्रॉम योर दिस थिंग, योर phone to your 4G, 5G, 6G, China is using these kind of things, how it is expanding. Then come to economics. So what is the economics? कैसे फोन का एक्सपोर्ट हो रहा है, कैसे एप्पल जो है इतनी बड़ी इंडस्ट्री आ गई. तो थिंक लाइक दैट. आई एम जस्ट गिविंग अ वेग एग्जांपल कि हाउ. एंड देन पेपर 4 एथिक्स, हाउ द फोन शुड बी एथिकली यूज. शुड इट बी यूज टू यूज एज अ बॉम्ब, or should it be used as a device where we can go for inclusive development, जो जन धन योजना की बात कर रहे हैं. How it can be used as a fruitful device for M governance, how it can be used for inclusion. So this way you can think. एक तरीका ये हो गया है ना, पेपर 1 टू पेपर 4 सोचो, ठीक है. देन और क्या डायमेंशन हो सकता है? डायमेंशन हो सकता है हाउ द, लाइक हाउ लाइफ हैज इवॉल्व्ड. लाइफ कैसे इवॉल्व होती है? आई एम जस्ट गिविंग एन एग्जाम्पल. हाउ लाइफ हैज इवॉल्व. फर्स्ट यूनिवर्स, बिग बैंग, यूनिवर्स बना. यूनिवर्स के बाद व्हाट हैज हैपेंड, आपकी ज्योग्राफीज बनती गई, ज्योग्राफीज होती गई, वहां पे आपकी जो है पीपल लाइफ, हाँ, लोग आके रहने लग गए उन ज्योग्राफीज में, उन लोगों की हिस्ट्री बन गई, उनके कल्चर बनता गया, फिर वो ज्यादा प्रोडक्शन करने लग गए तो इकोनॉमिक्स होते गया, और जब इकोनॉमिक्स में गड़बड़ हो गई तो फिर एथिकल इश्यूज पे आप, मतलब द वे यू कैन थिंक. उसी तरह से फॉर एग्जांपल फोन, लाइफ साइकिल ऑफ द फोन, हाउ इट हैज डेवलप्ड फ्रॉम द ग्राहम बेल्स पीरियड टू द मॉडर्न डे. आपको वेरियस डायमेंशन दिमाग में आ जाएंगे. दैट कैन बी डन. और अनदर वेज मल्टी डायमेंशनल सोचने के लिए, स्टार्ट फ्रॉम योर सेल्फ. how as an individual I have been impacted by the phone. How because of the phone my family has been impacted. Someone might have, in a remote area, someone have started this m-commerce. Have you heard of e-commerce, m-commerce? M-commerce is mobile commerce. How it has changed the life of my family, how the family, seeing my family, the village people have learned about this. So how my village has changed, how my society has changed, how my state has changed, and how from state the nation has changed because of this software technology भी use हो रही है. इसके different dimensions ले लो. How internationally this, मतलब I am just giving you various examples कि कैसे आप इसको multi dimensional बना सकते हो किसी भी चीज को. ठीक है. One thing is do the exercise. If you are lazy enough not to do the exercise, at least exam में कुछ तो लिखना है, 250 में कुछ तो लाना है, तो start from paper 1 to paper 4. Then think about the various dimensions from individual to global level. ठीक है. और how the life cycle of anything starts. ठीक है. इसमें life cycle में you start from your history. है ना, हिस्ट्री से लाइफ साइकिल किसी भी चीज की है. जैसे देयर वाज अ क्वेश्चन, कैन कैपिटलिज्म ब्रिंग इंक्लूसिव ग्रोथ. सो लाइफ साइकिल ऑफ कैपिटलिज्म, हाउ कैपिटलिज्म स्टार्टेड, व्हाट इट हैज डन, हाउ इट हैज डन, why it has bring inclusive growth, why it has not brought inclusive growth. So that way you can think. Or past, present, future about anything. Or what I use the term many times is your horizontal, vertical, and your temporal thinking. Horizontal means various dimensions. When you are saying horizontal means various, your history, your geography, your economics, your polity, whatever. So vertical is within history, how it has evolved. Within geography is how it has evolved. That is your vertical. Means you are taking one aspect, history. Within history, उस paragraph में आप उसके right from that time to history में क्या क्या हुआ, culture में कैसे कैसे changes आए because of mobile phone. ठीक है. And temporal is time का aspect with respect to time. So there are different dimensions, different ways you can get the content. ठीक है. Or what you can do is like brainstorming, जैसे हमने किया था. In the exam also, please take out some time and do the rough work in the last sheet. That really helps. And when you are just recalling the points, don't try to arrange it. क्योंकि अगर आपकी, if you are using your energy in arranging it, it means you are not giving 100% to your thought process. Other thing is, what you can do is, you can ask questions. Telephone. Say, just a simple example. You will definitely get the content. Telephone. What is telephone? Why telephone? What it has done? What wrong it has done? How it could be improved? So various questions are coming to your mind, and then you write the questions. उन questions के साथ go for sub questions if you get any in your thought process, and then in the end arrange it. Rough work में it should be free hand. जो दिमाग में आ रहा लिखते जाओ, and then you decide which is how to order it and which is required and which is not required. But first give 100% to your thinking. ठीक है. इस तरह से आपका कंटेंट बनेगा. And where to, इसके अलावा पढ़ना कहाँ से है? For UPSC essay, your content gets prepared if you are thorough with your paper 1, 2, 3, 4. GS से आप पढ़ रहे हो. ठीक है. Then editorials, very good editorials are there. Newspapers in the classroom, आपका उसमें आता है इकोनॉमिक, उसमें इकोनॉमिक टाइम्स में इन द क्लासरूम वेरी गुड दे एक्सप्लेन द थिंग्स. सिमिलरली आर्ग्यूमेंट्स एंड काउंटर आर्ग्यूमेंट्स, टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया. ठीक है. आप हिंदू पढ़ते हो, उसमें भी आप देखो सैटरडे या संडे को दे गिव यू द डेट, व्हाई, हाउ, व्हाट, they give you that kind of thing. And in your Indian Express you have explained column. So you need to know the subject in detail. So explain me, you are getting things in detail. How it started, what is the actual situation, how things have moved, what are the future prospects. So the thing is, read the good editorials. Apart from that, WDR, that is your World Development Report. If you see this year, they have asked you questions on technology. Have you gone through this year's question paper? No? No. क्यों पढ़ेंगे? ऐसे तो ऐसे ही है ना, नंबर तो पूरे चाहिए, लेकिन इसके बारे में हम मेहनत नहीं करेंगे. ऐसे में करना क्या है? वहां जाना है, लिखना है ना? Please read. This is for you only. So, the topics that they have given this time were, many of the topics were related to your, I will read the topics, 2016, very fast I'll read. If development is not engendered, it is endangered. Number 1. Number 2, need brings greed. If greed increases, it spoils the breed. Water disputes between states in federal India. Innovation is the key detriment of economic growth and social welfare. This kind of topics for the freshers. Cooperative federalism, myth or reality. ये तो पूरा paper 2 है, but they are asking you in GS. ठीक है? Then cyberspace and internet, blessing or curse to the human civilization in long run? Question mark. Near jobless growth in India, an anomaly or an outcome of economic reforms. Digital economy, a leveler or a source of economic inequality. So this WDR, उसके context में ये questions I am telling you. WDR, if you see, last year's WDR was your digital dividend. It talks about, and they are giving you all the questions on how it is a leveler or it brings inequality and all those things. So WDR, many times in the essay they give you the topics related to the theme of that year's WDR. So you don't need to read that Mota book WDR report is this fat. You don't need to read that. At least the beginning, your introduction and the conclusion, or what you called executive summary. That will give you an idea how the things are moving. उसी तरह happiness report is there. ठीक है? So many indices are there. हर साल इंडेक्स आता है, आपको पीटी में भी क्वेश्चन आता है. जैसे आपका वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट के ऊपर आ गया, इंडेसेस आ रहा है, हेल्थ इंडिकेटर्स के ऊपर आपका इंडेस आ जाता है. तो दीज काइंड ऑफ इंडेसेस, ठीक है, उनकी जो रिपोर्ट्स आती हैं, दैट विल गिव यू एन आइडिया. WDR, हैप्पीनेस रिपोर्ट, दीज काइंड ऑफ इंडेसेस. मैल नॉरिशमेंट के ऊपर आ गया आपका कोई इंडेस, तो उसमें व्हाट आर द पैरामीटर्स, वो पैरामीटर्स विल गिव यू एन आइडिया कि व्हाट काइंड ऑफ वेरिएशन इज देयर. Those things, and then good editorials, and then good reads. If you are a good reader, if you read books, then so many good books are there. But for UPSC, I would suggest, if you are preparing for UPSC, like Kalam's book, Gandhiji's book, ठीक है, Family and Nation, very good book by Dr. Kalam. Family and Nation, how family, because आपके values and ethics में बहुत क्वेश्चन आते हैं. ठीक है, वैल्यूज एथिक्स में भी ये बुक हेल्प करती है, सोशियोलॉजी वालों को भी हेल्प करती है. इट्स अ वेरी गुड बुक बाय कलाम. देन विजन 2020 इज देयर. ठीक है, माय एक्सपेरिमेंट्स विद ट्रूथ, मिडनाइट चिल्ड्रन, डिस्कवरी ऑफ इंडिया, ये सारी बुक्स हैं. एंड इफ यू हैव अ पोएटिक टेस्ट, गीतांजलि इज देयर. पूरी बुक आपकी पोएम के ऊपर ही है, पोएम्स ही है गीतांजलि. सो दीज काइंड ऑफ गुड बुक रीड्स विल हेल्प. एंड देन योर economic survey, certain datas are there जो कि आपको that will help you to substantiate what you are saying. Say for example, if you are writing that there is a great inequality, income inequality in India, ठीक है, so अब इसके लिए how much data you will mug up. But yes, there has been in the month of January, Davos में जो forum होता है हर साल, वहाँ पे there was a Oxfam report. ठीक है, Oxfam report which talked about the inequality in India. It says that 1% of the people in India control 58% of the resources. So this is a data. क्या है ये? डेटा ही है ना. 1%, 58%. तो small data, economic survey में भी there are many small data which you can mug up. Similarly, the way we are consuming the earth today, and the way population is rising, and the way production levels are rising right now, by 2050 we need 3 earths. This is the data. Huh? Ecological footprint, this is the data. So these kind of data you need to, 20% of the people across the globe is controlling 80% of the resources. This is the data. You don't need to mug up. ये कुछ चीजें आपकी वन लाइनर डेटाज है ना, दे आर वेरी इंप्रेसिव ऑल्सो एंड दे आर वेरी एग्जैक्ट ऑल्सो. जब आप अपनी पॉइंट को सब्सटैंशिएट करने के लिए कि यस देयर इज इनइक्वालिटी एंड यू कैन कोट ऑक्सफैम रिपोर्ट सेज 1% 58% रिसोर्स को कंट्रोल कर रहे हैं, तो दैट ब्रिंग्स योर एग्जैक्टनेस. दैट इज व्हाट यूपीएससी सेज, अफेक्टिव एंड एग्जैक्ट एक्सप्रेशन विल बी अलॉटेड द मार्क्स. लिखा है सिलेबस में, तो ऐसे ही आप एग्जैक्टनेस लाओगे बाय गिविंग दीज काइंड ऑफ डेटाज. ठीक है, बहुत अच्छे छोटे डेटाज होते हैं. तो दीज काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स यू कैन will help you to get the content. Your GS first is your GS, because in the beginning only I said this is UPSC essay, not a essay for any university or any PhD essay or job essay. So UPSC essay wants from a would-be administrator, multi-dimensional approach. So these kind of readings will help you. एंड डे वन से जिन्होंने बहुत साल से इंजीनियरिंग के पहले जो 10th तक पढ़ा है, 12th तक पढ़ा, उसके बाद इंजीनियरिंग के बाद लिखा नहीं है, प्लीज डोंट ओवर एक्सपेक्ट फ्रॉम योर सेल्फ. एटलीस्ट स्टार्ट राइटिंग. थोड़ा लिखो, एक पैराग्राफ लिखो, बट स्टार्ट राइटिंग एंड डोंट ओवर एक्सपेक्ट फ्रॉम डे वन. ठीक है, स्लोली एंड स्लोली यू विल विन. स्लो एंड स्टडी. बट यू नो व्हाट इज यूपीएससी's टॉपिक लास्ट टू लास्ट ईयर वाज? स्लो एंड स्टडी हम बचपन से पढ़ते आ रहे हैं. उनका टॉपिक वॉज नॉट स्लो एंड स्टेडी. फास्ट बट स्टेडी विंस द रेस. दैट वॉज यूपीएससी ऐसे टॉपिक. ठीक है, फास्ट बट स्टेडी विंस द रेस. सो अगेन यू हैव टू थिंक, यू हैव टू गिव एग्जाम्पल्स टू जस्टिफाई. Another thing is 2014 they have asked you many of the interrogation kind of question, means they are asking for your opinion. interrogation. Then 2015 many philosophical topics were there. 2016 topics were quite good. तभी इस बार marks भी बहुत ज़्यादा हैं आपके 160 plus भी marks हैं. तो but you cannot predict, है ना? UPSC को can you predict? Unpredictable Service Commission, UPSC. It's Unpredictable Service Commission. So you cannot predict it. So please try to write, initially try to write all kinds of topics. Philosophical भी आप लिखोगे, scientific, those who are not from technical background should write scientific topics. Those who are from technical background should go for social, cultural, any other ethical, these kind of topics. You do all your homework because you never know what kind of the questions would be asked the time when you will be writing your mains. So practice all kind of questions. ठीक है? Philosophical भी बहुत पूछता है UPSC. Temporal means time, present, past, future of anything. ठीक है? जैसे हम कल्चर की बात कर रहे हैं, तो कल्चर में भी जो है how the with time कल्चर में कैसे चेंज आया. Just giving you various examples. Temporal means with respect to time. That is your present, past, future. That can be one of the dimensions of thought process. Can be one. It's not that you have to include everything. It can be one of the dimensions. ठीक है? Okay. What I was telling? Huh? Practice all kinds of questions because UPSC is like you never know. आपके बहुत सारे आपके philosophical topics भी आते हैं. Last to last year there were 3 philosophical topics in section A. Maximum of your engineers who avoid this. मान लो चारों ही आपके section A is all philosophical. Then what will you do? You have to choose one. So please practice all kinds. And when it is like someone you asked about opinion, when the opinion is being asked, okay, then we will arrange also how to introduction and conclusion that part, because content may we have just discussed about content, how to get the content, but now the thing has come up. So opinion based question is there, like can capitalism bring inclusive growth? That was opinion based question. Okay? So when opinion is being asked, see, first thing is whatever is your opinion, they are least interested in your opinion, but they are more interested to know how you have concluded, how you have come to that particular conclusion. Logic क्या है आपका? If you are saying yes, it can bring inclusive growth, so what is the logic behind your opinion? If you are saying no, it cannot bring inclusive growth, so what is the logic behind that? So the UPSC is interested to know your personality, not yes or no. Yes, it can bring, no, it cannot bring. Why you are coming to a particular conclusion, that is what they are. When you are saying opinion-based questions, then whatever path, whatever way you are choosing, you have to substantiate it with logics, everything. ठीक है? तो opinion के पीछे आपका logic क्या है, rational क्या है, what's your thought process, that is important. अब इसमें एक problem क्या होती है? One problem happens is like I say for example, sun rises in the east. It's a fact. Everyone knows. ठीक है? अब इसको everyone knows and I know कि this is my opinion. If someone says कि sun rises in the west, I'll say no, sun rises in the east. और मैं उसको कुछ भी logic नहीं दूंगी because this is universal fact. But the thing is, you have, and we forget, many times we forget to substantiate because we think whatever is our logic is universally correct. कि capitalism cannot bring inclusive growth. So we just forget कि हमें लगता है यार capitalism ला ही नहीं सकती, तभी तो socialism है, तो इसको ज़्यादा explain हम नहीं करते. We many times forget because we think whatever is our logic is correct. So in the exam, you have to take care of this. If you are giving opinions, it has to be substantiated. One thing is you can go for black and white, that is yes or no. Another way is administrator, you are a judge also. DM judge का काम करता है, पता है? Do you know that? Lakshmikant, which page? It talks about, ठीक है? Yes. Anyways, not Lakshmikant, it's your constitution. Anyways, so DM acts as a judge also. So what does a judge do? He listens to both the sides. Yes and no, and then you come to a conclusion. So same example, capitalism जो topic आ गया है, capitalism, can it bring inclusive growth? So just think, it's not that you have to give your opinion in black and white, yes or no. You can take a middle path. And for a would-be administrator, it is always good to take a middle path. Then the next obvious question most of the students ask is, when if we are taking a middle path, does not it convey that we are not very strong in taking decisions? कि हम तो middle path ले रहे हैं, yes या no नहीं कर रहे हैं. Then say for example, our Modi ji has gone to Israel. 25 years of diplomatic relationship. Does it mean that we don't care for Palestine? Does it mean that we don't believe in the Palestinian state? Does it mean that? No. If we are abstaining from voting, say for example, there was a issue, some of you are very new, so international relations का कईयों को पता नहीं होगा, but there have been cases where India has abstained from voting in United Nations. ठीक है, जैसे आपके श्रीलंका में जो आपके क्राइम्स हुए थे, उनके लिए वहां पे वोटिंग की बात हुई थी. तो मेनी टाइम्स इंडिया हैज एब्सटेन्ड. डज इट मीन इंडिया इज वीक ऑन दैट? नो. ठीक है, सो इट्स नॉट दैट इफ यू आर नॉट सेइंग यस और नो, यू आर टेकिंग द बुद्धा पाथ, जो भगवान बुद्ध कहते हैं कि मध्यम मार्ग में चलो. दैट डज नॉट मीन यू आर वीक. It shows that you have considered the pros and cons of both the sides. कि yes, capitalism can bring inclusive growth. Yes, it can bring, because जब capitalism start हुआ था आपका इंग्लैंड में, तो so many people were uplifted from poverty. Industrialization जब हुई थी, हुआ था ना. टाइगर इकोनॉमीज आपकी कैसे ग्रो हुई? इंडिया में एलपीजी आया तो कैपिटलिज्म के चलते ही आया ना. 1991 so many people have like uplifted from your BPL status. So many young people have got the jobs in your BPOs, KPOs and all. So yes, it has brought. But at the other side, you will argue कि reports like Oxfam, 1% is controlling your 58%. So this capitalism is not bringing inclusive growth because it's a crony capitalism. Crony capitalism means it's in the hands of few. तो आप ये भी argue करोगे कि ये ऐसी ऐसी बात है. And then as a administrator, you will end up that yes, capitalism can bring inclusive growth, but provided capitalism should be like this. ये होना चाहिए, गवर्नमेंट को ये रोल होना चाहिए. क्रोनी की जगह फ्रूगल कैपिटलिज्म मीन्स कैपिटलिज्म फॉर कॉमन मैन, लाइक योर नैनो. 1 लाख की कार है, everyone can easily buy. It's not like your Bentley. ठीक है, so this is something is required. It's not that you are taking one side or the other. Even if you want to take one side, give your arguments why you are taking that side. ठीक है, so never think that if we are not taking white or black, it means you are weak. No, you are not weak. You are acting like a judge. You are thinking both the sides and then coming to a logical conclusion. So that is your opinion based. Is it clear? Any doubts on this? कुछ है? No? Okay. Yeah.
Sometimes I become very confused when the topic is very strong, like, will this bring this or not? So when the topic itself is
That, but
then I become very confused whether to take the middle path or not.
you can always say, will this or will not this? ठीक है? Say for example, you get a topic like, will Jan Dhan Yojana, that is your flagship program of the government, will Jan Dhan Yojana bring inclusive growth in India? Will Jan Dhan Yojana be able to bring inclusive growth in India? No, क्यों नहीं और हाँ क्यों नहीं? You have to, yes, it can bring, तभी तो ये आया है Jan Dhan Yojana, but no क्यों? क्योंकि there have been problems. We don't have banks, we don't have towers in the remote areas. How can we think about, we are talking about your banks and all. Banks are not opening in your Leh Ladakh areas, remote areas, Kutch and all. So how will it bring inclusive growth? Just opening accounts in your plain areas or plain villages, will it bring? So yes, the intention is there. The logic behind Jan Dhan Yojana is to bring inclusive growth. But why it cannot bring? The reasons are this. So you have to think like an administrator. That is there. Don't get confused. And if you want only one side of the coin, then Go ahead with that. No one is stopping you. Okay, you can take one path also. Yes, it can bring. Then give all the examples, data, how people have, how many accounts have been. Your Modi ji is telling very now and then that 3 crores accounts have been opened, this and that. You can give your examples. But at the same time, if you are saying no, it cannot, then you can give the examples why it's not bringing the inclusive growth. Okay? Is it clear? Any other doubt? Philosophical type essay. Okay. याद रखना पहले हम how to arrange content and वो then we'll in the end we'll take one philosophical essay and then we will और अभी कर देते चलो. With great power comes great responsibility. It's a very common kind of a saying. है ना? With great power comes great responsibility. Common? ठीक है? So now you tell me, how will you bring the multidimensional approach? History से example लो. How the people who have great powers, who have done good, people who have great powers but no sense of responsibility has brought in the wrong things. Then geography, how your geography has given you power, how the geography has given you resources, how your geography has given you plutonium and uranium, and how the countries are using it for making a nuclear bomb or a nuclear reactor for producing peaceful energy. Society ले लो, how the people who are in the upper strata of the society, they are like 1% is having 58%, so how their responsibility also increases. ठीक है? उसी तरह culture में ले लो, there are many cultures which say that we are superior cultures, so how their responsibility also increases. Economics की बात ले लो, तो CSR ये सारी चीजें जो है, when you have great powers, when you have CSR is a corporate social responsibility, so these kind of examples can be given. ठीक है? Then उसके बाद IR में आ जाओ, bodies like United Nations, countries like USA, they have the great powers, that so it's their responsibility to take care of the small nations. अभी आपका क्या हो रहा है? Global warming हो रही है, आपकी sea level rise कर रहा है, small countries are getting immersed, so it is their responsibility to take care of them. Ethics में आ जाओ, the people believe in the so called your spiritual gurus and all, they give them so much of power. लोग ही देते हैं ना, ये जो जितने आपके टीवी में रोज बाबा लोग दिख रहे होते हैं, who is giving them power? People are giving them. So when people are giving them power, isn't it their responsibility to do something for the people? So this way you can think, fast but steady wins the race. That's also a very like philosophical kind. तो आप इसमें क्या, fast but steady wins the race. Different examples can be given, like say for example, what has happened? The countries which have taken to LPG era, जिन्होंने अंडरस्टैंड किया कि भैया हमें जो है अपनी मार्केट ओपन करनी है और उस पे वो स्टेडीली चल रहे हैं, दे आर प्रोग्रेसिंग. First movers, fast but steady. At the same time, what happens during elections? We announce so many schemes, but we are not steady on that. तो क्या होता है उसका result? Then you can ask question के हिसाब से करो, what is fast? What is steady? What do you understand by fast? Is there a difference between fast and haste? ठीक है? Example is fast and haste. You see the drivers, जो आपके racing drivers होते हैं, they are fast but not haste. आप रेसिंग ट्रैक में जाके देखो, जितनी ग्रॉ प्री होती है आपकी, जो कार रेसेस होती हैं, they are not in haste but they are fast. So there is a difference between fast and haste. That aspect can also be included in your essay. Then how can we be fast but at the same time steady? तो इसको थोड़ा गवर्नमेंट की स्कीम्स के साथ ले आओ कि मतलब think that telephone example, remember and start thinking. Then you will develop that habit. Whatever kind of essay comes, whether it's science, whether it is technical, non-technical, irrespective of the background you have, you will be definitely able to write something on that. ठीक है? Is it clear? Now content का हो, yes. Power flows from the barrel of the gun. ठीक है? इसके दोनों साइड हैं. Power flows from the barrel of the gun. You have पॉजिटिव तो आपने दे दिया इसका सारा जो भी है. अब इसका जो कंट्राडिक्शन है, आई जस्ट सम अप वेरी ब्रीफली. अगर आप इसके कंट्राडिक्शन की बात करो, इट्स नॉट दैट पावर फ्लोज फ्रॉम द बैरल ऑफ द गन. हैड इट बीन देयर, देन जितने भी एट द एंड ऑफ द वॉर, इट्स ओनली ऑन द टेबल दैट यू सिट एंड नेगोशिएट. Had it been the case, then India's freedom struggle, non-violent freedom struggle is an example. Afghanistan, how? Just substantiate. At last, कहीं पे भी कुछ भी war हो रही होगी, it's not always, but yes, many times power has to flow from the barrel of the gun. Why it has to flow? Emergency situation है. Say for example, कि आपके पास कोई, आपकी कंट्री में कोई कुछ अटैक कर रहा है. You cannot sit and say कि हम तो non violent. You have to retaliate. If Pakistan throws an atomic bomb in your country, so even you have the power. It should flow from the barrel of your gun. So that way, both the sides, and ultimately, अगर आप कंक्लूजन वाली बात करते हैं, अभी वी विल डिस्कस, देन जस्ट रिमाइंड मी कि इसका कंक्लूजन हम कैसे कर सकते थे. ठीक है, इज इट ओके? नाउ कंटेंट इज देयर. हाउ टू अरेंज द कंटेंट? कंटेंट हाउ डू यू अरेंज? फर्स्ट इज योर इंट्रोडक्शन, देन योर बॉडी in which the flow is required, and then comes your conclusion. See, there is no one way of writing introduction. To be very honest, I cannot say that this is the only way of writing introduction. Writing introduction can be as simple as your preface of the book. Means preface of the book you understand, you read that and you understand कि वो उसमें है क्या. You are giving some kind of a glimpse what you are going to do. So that can be one way of writing. Or you can simply question. Start with a question. ठीक है, जैसे कि power flows from the barrel of the gun. अगर आपको यही करना है इंट्रोडक्शन में, you can write a question. Is it always has the you can always talk about the lives of Mahatma Gandhi and Nelson Mandela. Does it show that power always flows from the barrel of the gun? Question mark and then deal. That can be done. Nelson Mandela, you know. Mahatma Gandhi, you know. कितने सारे सत्याग्रह आजकल के टाइम पे भी हो रहे हैं. Your this Sharmila from your Manipur, है ना? Irom Sharmila, she was 40 years she was on fast. So these kind of examples, she was on fast. Now she has 16 years. Okay. Anyways, so this kind of thing you can talk about. Does it show that power always come from? Then question mark and then you deal with the whole thing. So it can be, it's like your introduction should be very impressive and effective. बहुत लोग आपको ये बात बोलते हैं, ठीक है? But that does not mean that effectiveness means कि बहुत ही हाई-फाई अंग्रेजी से शुरू करना है. Simple is also effective. Gandhi is very effective. He was a simple man, isn't it? So simple can be effective. The only thing is how you are presenting it. It's not that to be effective you have to write it in a very like flowery language, this or that. You can begin with a very simple language. You can simply start explaining the term, or you can just write what you are going to write in the whole essay, like a preface of the book. You can start with that thing. Apart from that, you can raise the valid question. Does power always flow from the gun? That kind of question. Does the do the lives of Mahatma Gandhi and you can say Nelson Mandela, then show us that power always flow from gun, question mark, and then you can deal the essay. That can be, yes.
Can we start with the case studies?
Yes, you can start with case studies. You can start with storytelling also. Say for example, this telephone, जो हमने बात की. You can start with an example कि how a poor man in my locality got a phone from somebody and how he started a small business like M-commerce, and from that phone how his life changed. That kind of story. बहुत सारे toppers खड़े होके बोलते हैं ना कि story लिखते हैं, बड़ा अच्छा अलग सा होता है. But the thing is, I would suggest please try it once before doing it on the D-Day. Exam में जाने से पहले. So there can be different ways of introducing. Similarly, conclusion ki when we talk about conclusion, always remember you are going to be a would-be administrator. I repeat this line n number of times whenever I am taking any sessions. This would be administrator should be reflected even in your GS answers. ठीक है. So would be administrator हो तो आपको कितना भी negative statement होगा, you need to show the positivity. Your conclusion should be optimistic and but at the same time practical also. It should not be optimism दिखा रहे हो कि आने वाले 50 साल में whole of the India will be able to go to space to enjoy picnic. No, space tourism हम सब नहीं कर सकते हैं 50 साल में, ठीक है. और by 2020 the whole of the India will be poverty free. No, it's not practical. ठीक है. It should be doable. Whatever suggestions you are giving, it should be doable. Say for example, the bureaucrats who have made the policies, like housing for all, 2020 है ना, 2022. You know that there is a scheme by the name of housing for all 2022. Means जो आपका जो span होना चाहिए, जो आप फ्यूचरिस्टिक लिखते हो, दैट शुड बी समवेयर अराउंड 10 से 12 साल का या 15 साल का फ्यूचर आप बताओगे, मतलब फ्यूचरिस्टिक. इट्स नॉट दैट 100 साल के बाद क्या होगा, तो दैट इज नॉट प्रैक्टिकल राइट नाउ. ठीक है. कलाम ने बुक लिखी थी विजन 2020. ही रोट दिस बुक समवेयर अराउंड 2000. तो 15 साल 20 साल, नॉट बियॉन्ड दैट. It should be practical. It should appear that a would-be civil servant is writing some kind of a conclusion. So, conclusion, whatever way you want, you can conclude. The only thing is, it should be practical. It should be optimistic. Why you should be negative and why UPSC want negative people? Why should UPSC want? If you get a question on, say, for example, internal security से related, और इंसर्जेंसी इन कश्मीर के ऊपर आ जाए एंड यू विल राइट कि 100 साल तक कश्मीर का कुछ नहीं हो सकता, तो वो भी बोलेंगे भैया 100 साल तक आपको भी हम नहीं ले सकते हैं, बिकॉज इतनी नेगेटिविटी ऑलरेडी है. इफ यू आर नॉट एबल टू शो अस समथिंग पॉजिटिव, सो इट्स बेटर यू बिकम अ पॉलिटिशियन एंड वट एवर यू वॉन्ट टू बिकम. ठीक है. सो यू हैव टू बी पॉजिटिव फ्रेमवर्क ऑफ माइंड एंड some logical. If you are giving suggestions, it should be practical, doable, logical. Yes. You can do that also. I am just coming on one by one points. Na? Many of the students, what they do is, initially they sum up what they are going to write, introduction, then they write the whole thing, and then in the end they sum up what they have written. ठीक है. That is also one of the ways, and people are getting marks. But personally, I feel it looks like too much of repetition. मतलब आप शुरू में भी बता रहे हो हम ये लिखेंगे, फिर हमने ये लिखा और लास्ट में बोला कि फिर हम ये लिख रहे हैं और लास्ट में हमने ये लिखा. तो that can be one of the ways. I am not saying it's not the way. It's the way, and people are getting marks on that. You can do that also. ठीक है. What you can do is you can sum up what you have written, but that sum up should be रिफ्लेक्टिंग अ पॉजिटिव थिंग. ठीक है. मतलब पॉजिटिविटी नजर आनी चाहिए आपकी, मतलब उनको लगना चाहिए यार ये बंदा कितनी भी प्रॉब्लम हो, ही इज पॉजिटिव. दैट इज योर पर्सनैलिटी. दैट शुड बी रिफ्लेक्टेड इन योर एसे, और ही और शी वट एवर. ठीक है. तो दैट शुड बी देयर. ठीक है. दैट शुड बी देयर इन योर एसेज. अनदर थिंग, थ्रू आउट योर एसे देयर शुड बी, कहते हैं ना एक अंडर करंट बिहाइंड योर पर्सनैलिटी. व्हाट इज बिहाइंड योर पर्सनैलिटी मीन्स आपकी जो पर्सनैलिटी है वो किस चीजों से बनी है, वो रिफ्लेक्ट होती है. तो एज एन एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर आपके पूरे ऐसे में ये दिखना चाहिए, यू आर अ पर्सनैलिटी हु रिस्पेक्ट्स ह्यूमन राइट्स, यू आर अ पर्सनैलिटी हु रिस्पेक्ट्स विमेन, यू आर अ पर्सनैलिटी हु इज प्रो एनवायरमेंट, you are a personality who is pro children, pro poor, pro elderly. So this kind of undercurrent means आपके जो personality का अस्तित्व किन चीजों के ऊपर depend है, foundation behind your personality. These things should be reflected throughout your essays and throughout your interviews. Interview is also a very important aspect. ठीक है. एक नंबर इधर और उधर बाहर. So this thing undercurrent जो आप रियो डिक्लेरेशन, और पता नहीं क्या क्या डिक्लेरेशन पढ़ते हैं, वो सारी चीजें आपके पर्सनालिटी में झलकनी चाहिए. इट्स नॉट दैट यू आर मग अप कि व्हाट इज देयर इन रियो, व्हाट इज देयर इन पेरिस कन्वेंशन, और आपसे घुमा के क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं, घुमा के ऐसे पूछते हैं और आप बोलते सारे पेड़ काट दो, पहले तो पैसे आने चाहिए. सो दैट थिंग इज समथिंग. पेड़ तो हम बाद में उगा लेंगे, भले जगह बचे ना बचे, हम चांद पे जाके उगा लेंगे, है ना. द वे वी आर डूइंग, like there is scarcity of place. Now we have a company in USA which will be taking our mortal ashes to moon. पढ़ा है ना? Some Jain is there, Indian, ठीक है, is opening a company there. So this kind of things should not be there. Your personality should be something which is required from a would be. Because see, एक administrator क्या होता है? आप बोलते हो ना इंटरव्यू में कि हम ये कर देंगे वो कर देंगे, आप कुछ नहीं कर सकते हो. बिकॉज व्हाट इज एन एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर और सिविल सर्वेंट? सिविल सर्वेंट इज नथिंग बट अ प्रोडक्ट ऑफ योर रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस एंड योर कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन. आप सिंघम नहीं बन सकते हो चाहे कितने भी दिमाग में वो होंगे. वट एवर इज देयर इन योर कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, वट एवर इज देयर इन योर इंडियन पीनल कोड, यू कैन नॉट गो बियॉन्ड दैट. ठीक है, तो यही चीज आपकी पर्सनालिटी में दिखनी चाहिए. दैट यू आर नॉट सिंघम, यू आर नॉट एनीवन, यू आर जस्ट अ person who is ready to become what is the, you are the byproduct of rules, regulations and your constitution. So that should be reflected. And don't never go beyond your constitution. Never go too much against your flagship programs of the government. चाहे कितना भी लिखें कि जनधन योजना आपका इंक्लूजन नहीं लाएगा, but you have to show positivity because that is the flagship program of the government. ठीक है, इन चीजों का ध्यान रखना है आपको. हाँ, ओरिजिनल कैसे नहीं रहेगा? मतलब आप बोलोगे कि जाओ पाकिस्तान में, मतलब कोई भी दिखे राइट हो रहा, जान से मार दो, तो वो ओरिजिनलिटी, मतलब वो आपकी पर्सनालिटी दिख रही कि इज वेरी काइंड ऑफ अ रेडिकल. वो ओरिजिनलिटी दिख रही है आपकी कि रेडिकल है. उनको पता है भैया हमें रेडिकल बंदा नहीं चाहिए. अगर आपको राइट अफेक्टेड एरिया में भेज दे जहां पे दो कम्युनिटीज बिल्कुल लड़ रही हो और आप एक पर्टिकुलर कम्युनिटी को बिलोंग करते हो, तो आपका माइंडसेट तो होगा मारने दो, बाद में देख लेंगे. ठीक है, दैट थिंग वुड बी रिफ्लेक्टेड. पीछे से बहुत आवाजें आ रही हैं, अब जरा बताओ हाउ टू जनरेट फ्लो इन योर एसेज. इफ वी हैव टू जनरेट फ्लो, हमने कर लिया. कंक्लूजन कैसे करना है, इंट्रोडक्शन कैसे करना है, कंटेंट कैसे करना है, बट कंटेंट शुड बी प्रॉपरली ऑर्गेनाइज्ड बिकॉज यूपीएससी सेज अफेक्टिव एंड एग्जैक्ट को ही पॉइंट मिलेंगे. तो वो अफेक्टिवनेस, एग्जैक्टनेस, वो फ्लो, वो रिदम, हाउ टू जनरेट दैट, हाउ टू जनरेट दैट, कैसे करेंगे? यस, सिंपली सेड, और कैसे कर सकते हैं? देखो, कुछ भी तरीका नहीं आता है तो someone has asked सब headings. कुछ भी नहीं आता है तो you can use सब headings. And this is, believe me, बहुत लोग बोलते हैं ऐसे में सब headings नहीं लिखते हैं, बहुत लोग बोलते हैं. But I believe, you know who is Ira Singhal? 160 essay 2 years back, all India topper. She was not my student honestly, but I have also listened to many of her videos and you are also welcome to listen to many of her videos. YouTube में जाओ, ईरा सिंघल के, उन्होंने clearly बोला है I have used subheadings to generate flow. And I know many of the students, those who were my students and who have used subheadings and they have got marks. So there is nothing like you cannot use. If you are not able to generate flow, political aspect, subheading देके political issue लिख लो. Social aspect, subheading देके social issue लिख लो. That is one of the simplest way of generating a flow. Then another way of generating a flow is if you come across any topic. Slow, fast but steady wins the race. Ask yourself questions. What is fast? How it wins the race? Where fast has failed? Why this? Why that? What? Why? When? How? Telephone. When was it what is telephone, when was it invented, how it has impacted, what are the negatives of it, how it can be improved. तो ask yourself questions, वो उसी flow में आते हैं questions और उसी flow में आप उसको करते जाओगे तो ये आपका एक flow बन जाता है. These things appear very complicated, but when you start practicing, you will realize कि ये when you ask yourself questions, rhythm बनती है. जैसे if you are narrating something to me, then I will ask you, यार ये कब हुआ, कैसे हुआ, कहाँ हुआ, क्यों हुआ, तो flow बन रहा है ना. तो this is something is how you can generate flow. Ask yourself questions on that topic and start writing. Flow will be there. Or at this, another way is, like you are writing that telephone के बारे में. At the end of the one paragraph, see how the need for the next is generated. Say for example, do political parties have telephone as a election symbol? Yes. Regional parties बहुत जगह आपको election symbol होता है. तो you can simply like how to generate the need. कि this thing, telephone has become a common thing in the hands of common man. It's like no people, even if they are not literate, they are having telephone. So it has become such a common thing that the political parties have started using it. The political parties have started using it as election symbol. तो ये आप common man से political उसमें आ गए. And then political parties, how they have used it in a positive way, negative way, another तरीका आपका उसमें आ गया. Means at the end of the one paragraph, if you are generating the need, कैसे जो है इसकी टेलीफोन की डिमांड बढ़ते गई, you can talk about that, and then you can switch to its economy, कि how the various industries are developing because of that. Means that is, see, all these things appear ऊपर से, but when you start doing it, you will realize कि इस तरह से किया जा सकता है. But the simplest way is subheadings. If you want to move ahead of subheadings, then what, why, when, how you can do, or you can start questioning, raising the requirement of the next thing, and you can move on to that. और इसके अलावा आपको कोई और तरीका पता है तो please use it, because essay is your way of writing. It's not my way of writing. I am just giving you some of the hints. I am just a coach, not a teacher. I am a coach. I am just coaching you. Whatever suits you, you take it. ठीक है? यहाँ तक हुआ? Any other doubts? Okay. There is one announcement. There is an announcement to be made by our CMD sir to the students. Please tell the students to stay and kindly inform before leaving the class. ठीक है? थोड़ा 5 मिनट रुक जाना. ठीक है? Okay. Yes. Tell me. Someone is asking something. See, he is asking on opinion-based question, should we begin with whatever is our opinion, or should we? See, what happens is, it all depends upon the reader. What happens, say for example, should capital punishment be removed from India? ठीक है? आपने yes या no कर दिया, आपने एक चीज लिख दिया, ऊपर में ही आपने डायरेक्ट लिख दिया yes, and then what many times it happens that वो पूरा आपका लॉजिक आगे नहीं पढ़ रहा होता, उसको उसके दिमाग में परसेप्शन इज कि yes ही करना है, बट आपने कहीं पे विद इन द ऐसे यू हैव टच कि why it has not been, yes it should be, ideally it should be removed, but why it has not been removed till date, that aspect also you have touched. ठीक है? तो वो कई बार परसेप्शन बन जाता है. कैन कैपिटलिज्म ब्रिंग इंक्लूसिव ग्रोथ? नो, इट कैन नॉट ब्रिंग. बट यू हैव ऑल्सो डिस्कस समवेयर इन योर एसे कि yes it has brought उसका historical perspective about industrial revolution and all those if you have given. तो many times it's advisable, but many times it happens कि वो perception पहले ही बन जाता है, वो आपको yes और no को ही लेके चलता है. So to be on the safer side, because we never know who is going to check and what is his mindset. So always take a balanced kind of approach from the beginning, or you can expand and then give the logics both the sides and then conclude. Similarly, जैसे वो जज वाली बात है, because when there is a interrogation means you have to judge something. Judge पहले पहुंचते ये नहीं बोल देता है कि आधार is a fundamental right. वो आपका दोनों का सुनता है पहले बार, ठीक है. Not आधार, privacy is your fundamental right. वो आपको कभी पहले नहीं बोलेगा. वो आपको पहले सारी चीजों की जरूरत समझाएगा कि why privacy is important, and then why it should be a fundamental right, then why it should not be a fundamental right, and then what are the pros and cons that needs to be taken care, so that this can be, Aadhaar can be a best utility for the common citizen. Yes, now I am coming to this. ठीक है, ये सारी चीजें हो गई. We have done about. Read the topic again and again, and you have to be, because कई बार वही होता है. It's like we get emotional and we get carried away. So the only thing is read the topic again and again and do some rough work. So just tally it. ठीक है. Now sequencing we have done, opinion, how to select. This we haven't done. One by one we'll take. Underlining we haven't written here, but okay, underlining is another thing. Now, how to select? How to select is, many times it is like, if there is a very common topic, most of the students say, यार ये तो सब करेंगे, मैं कुछ अलग करता हूँ. अब कुछ अलग, if you are capable of enough of doing something different, then only write. But otherwise, please read all the topics, all the 4 topics, then think whether I am comfortable in whichever topic, irrespective of 99.9% people of those who are writing mains that year are writing that topic, but you should be confident that I am comfortable and I can give my best only in this. Irrespective of 99.9 are also doing the same thing. You should select the topic on which you are comfortable. अलग करने के लिए करना है, वैसे नहीं करना है, ठीक है. Select the topic in which you are comfortable. Say for example, you are from economics background and there is an economic topic. Also make sure that your optional should not be reflected too much in your topic. Whether you have the content for your topic or not, whether you have some quotes or some data, if you are writing economic topics, and if you don't have certain datas, then also it's like थोड़ा सा वो लगता है, incompatible सा लगता है. If you are writing some topic on, say, space tourism or space research, there you need to be factual also. थोड़ा सा तो factual होना पड़ेगा, सारा emotional से नहीं होगा. तो there you need to see whether you have the required content or not, whether you have the in-depth knowledge of that or not, irrespective of आपका बगल वाला क्या कर रहा है या पूरी UPSC क्या कर रही है उस साल. Choose the topic where you are comfortable, you have the content on that. Think हर topic के ऊपर you can waste your 3-4 minutes, not an issue. Time is not an issue. But the thing is, आधा लिख करके काट करके जब फिर दोबारा नया टॉपिक चूज करते हैं ना, दिस इज अ वेरी कॉमन प्रॉब्लम. स्टूडेंट्स क्या करते हैं, हड़बड़ी में पहला टॉपिक देखा, यार ये तो मेरा पॉलिटी से मिलता जुलता है, मेरा ऑप्शनल पॉलिटी, लेट्स राइट दिस. आधा लिख के लगता है अब आगे क्या करें, दे कट इट एंड दे स्टार्ट द अदर टॉपिक. सो it's better to waste your 3-4 minutes on all the topics and then decide with a cool mind what to choose and what not to choose. And wherever you are comfortable, choose that, irrespective of what others are doing. ठीक है. Diagram, flowchart, mindsets, yes, mind maps. You can make diagrams. Again, Ira Singhal, 160 plus. She had made tourism, future of tourism in India was a topic that year, and she had made the diagram of India. And उसने show किया था. But the only thing is, it should not be like your geography copy. Geography copy नहीं होना चाहिए. I have seen one girl now this year, she has become an IPS officer and she has written to me also कि ma'am, because of all these things, because of essay she was not getting selected for 3 times. Priyadarshini, her name is Priyadarshini. So when I first saw her copy was, after seeing the copy I asked her, is geography or optional? She said yes. तो उसमें कुछ वो था एंशियंट, देयर वाज सम प्रैक्टिस ऐसे, देयर वाज सम लाइक एंशियंट टूल्स एंड उसके ऊपर, तो शी हैज मेड एंशियंट टूल्स आल्सो कि उनका शेप ऐसा था, उनका ऐसा था, तो दिस इज नॉट रिक्वायर्ड. If you are comfortable, you can make a diagram, but it should not be too much. First thing is avoid it. But if you think you want to make, you can make a diagram, not an issue. But it should be in sync with what you are writing. For the sake of just making a diagram, you are making a diagram? No. Good editorials also have diagrams. देखा है ना, अच्छे editorials में diagrams होते हैं, तो वो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. बट इफ यू आर केपेबल एनफ टू इंट्रोड्यूस अ डायग्राम इन अ लॉजिकल मैनर, तभी बनाओ, अदरवाइज अवॉइड इट. ठीक है, तो कैसे पता चलेगा? प्रैक्टिस इट बिफोर गोइंग टू द एग्जाम. से फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इफ यू आर राइटिंग समथिंग अबाउट लाइक फ्लो चार्ट बनाना है और डायग्राम्स बनाना है, तो व्हाट डज योर बेसिक प्रीएम्बल सेज? ठीक है, प्रीएम्बल यहाँ लिख करके, what does your preamble say? India is a socialist, sovereign socialist, democratic republic. तो ये 4 चीज आप ऐसे लिख सकते हो एक जगह, बट एक ही बार लिखो. ये नहीं कि हर पेज पे आप डायग्राम बना रहे हो, फ्लो चार्ट बना रहे हो. सो इट्स नॉट, देयर इज नो complete no to it, but if you are comfortable and if it sinks in your essay, then only make it, otherwise please avoid it. ठीक है. Word limit 1200 is given by UPSC for one essay. You can write as short as 700. ठीक है, but don't go beyond 1200. This we have done. Time management. Time management is also tested in your essays. Whether you, कई लोग क्या करते हैं, they write one essay very well. In the other essay, they don't have the time to complete. So that also shows your personality. If you are given a task with a given time frame, you need to complete that. So balance 50-50, but 50-50 बोलने की बात होती है, because when you write the first essay, it definitely takes more time. Similarly, when you write answers, it is said that 9 minutes per answer. But when you start writing your first answer in GS, it takes 10 minutes, it takes 15 minutes also. So it's like first essay will take time, but you have to, this is your individual's preference कैसे करना है. Because I cannot say, otherwise logically it's 50-50. 3 hours means 150 minutes, both sides. ठीक है. Subheadings we have done. Quotes. Now, quotes में 2-3 problems, like questions, not problems. The questions is whether to add quotes or not. If you have good quotes, and I would say please, on certain issues like education, on ethics, on simple living, है ना, on poverty, you can have certain quotes जो आप कर सकते हो. 2, 4, 5 हर टॉपिक पे आप quote याद करके रख सकते हो. But that does not mean that if you have marked up quote and you have to put the quote. If it suits, then only put. Essays without quotes are getting equally good marks as essay with quotes. And it should not be कि आपने याद किया तो हमने 40 quote लिख दिए. ठीक है. I have come across a student, मैम मैंने तो कोई 20 की quotes डाल दिए हर उसमें. भैया नंबर कितने आए? Our ultimate aim is to get selected. ठीक है, किसी भी तरह हम select हो जाएं. This is our ultimate aim. People sitting in the remote areas at the age of 22 and 23 are getting selected. And the people sitting here in Delhi, many of them, ये भी कर लो, वो भी कर लो, ये भी कर लो, 10 साल के बाद बाबा जी बन के ज्ञान दे रहे होते, but they are not selected. So the reason is, you just need to understand the art to get through this exam. तो quotes का भी वही है. If you have marked up certain quote and if it suits it, then write. Otherwise, without quote also it goes. Another common question with respect to quotes is whether to quote it in inverted commas or not. If you remember the exact lining of the quote and who has given it, you can do in inverted commas. But if you remember the crux of the quote, but you don't remember who has said this, then in that case what you can do is avoid this. You can simply write, one philosopher has given a very good quote which says that this. ठीक है. तो कोट के लिए भी आपको ऐसा नहीं है कि आपको बहुत मगअप करके वहां एग्जाम में, यार मुझे तो इन्वर्टेड कॉमा और याद ही नहीं आ रहा उसने कहाँ कॉमा लगाया था, कहाँ फुल स्टॉप लगाया था. फॉरगेट अबाउट दैट. ठीक है. सिंपली राइट द एसेंस ऑफ द कोट. दैट कैन बी डन. फैक्ट्स और नो फैक्ट्स. यस. हाँ, jargons and all will come one by, we have written na. Okay, facts or not. Facts if you have, and the facts are which are easily understandable by other person who is checking it. ठीक है. अब ये नहीं कि इकोनॉमिक्स ऑप्शनल है और हमने ऐसे डायग्राम बना के ऐसे ऐसे सारे फैक्ट्स एंड फिगर्स डाल दिए. वो जो चेक कर रहा है भैया वो अंग्रेजी का लेक्चरर हो सकता है, उसको वो ही माइट नॉट बी कंफर्टेबल. सो फैक्ट्स जैसे हमने बात किया था 1% इतना, या छोटे मोटे फैक्ट्स लाइक योर व्हाट इज योर लिटरेसी रेट इन इंडिया. ठीक है. हाउ मेनी पीपल आर बिलो पॉवर्टी लाइन. तो दीज काइंड ऑफ फैक्ट्स कैन बी गिवन. एंड फैक्ट्स फ्रॉम वेयर? Facts not from your newspaper. Newspaper is always your secondary source. The primary source is your government websites, your economic survey, your budget speech. That is your fact. Fact and figure वहाँ से डालो अगर डालने हैं तो. It's not that कि हिंदू में लिखा है. And don't write as per the Hindu. No. Who is Hindu? भैया Hindu is a secondary source. It should be from your government. Straight from the horse's mouth, as per United Nation, as per UNDP. ठीक है. इस टाइप से आप डालोगे. How to bring flow? We have done jargons. Okay. Jargons in, say for example, nowadays Vasudev Kutumbakam is a word which is very often we hear in United Nations speech. Vasudev Kutumbakam. ठीक है. अतिथि देवो भव. Refugee crisis के टाइम पे this was a thing which was too much in news. So you can use the quotes from other language also. Like Vasudev Kutumbakam, you can write like Vasudev Kutumbakam and then explain what does it mean. ठीक है. This way you can use. You can say Vasudev Kutumbakam because UN में भी यूज हो रहा है, कई जगह यूज हो रहा है. There are very good quotes. Even like someone has asked me, I said na 2-3 days back about Gurumukhi. If there is a quote from Gurumukhi, he can write one line. आप अंग्रेजी में उसको लिखो and then explain the meaning, but not too much. If something is very relevant, very impressive, and which it should be like you think that yes, this is something which is like yes, ये तो डालना ही चाहिए. तो you can put it and then explain the meaning. ठीक है. उसको इटैलिक्स में डालोगे आप, कॉमा करके डालोगे एंड एक्सप्लेन इट. नाउ अंडरलाइनिंग. मेनी पीपल से ऐसे में अंडरलाइन नहीं करना चाहिए. ठीक है. बट व्हाई नॉट अंडरलाइन? ऐसे में अंडरलाइन होता है. अगेन ईरा सिंघल, शी इज एन एक्सेप्शन. She has made diagrams underlining, not Ira Singhal because why I am saying Ira Singhal because all of you have the access to internet. You can listen to someone who has got the first rank all India, 160 in essay. तो उनको सुनने से आपको एक कॉन्फिडेंस आता है. अगर मैं कहूँ कि I have like many of my students have underlined and they have got it, तो सोचोगे पता नहीं कौन है. बट ईरा सिंघल तो आप सब सुन सकते हो ना, ऑल इंडिया टॉपर है. She has proved it also. So underlining you can do, but it should underlining. Why you do underlining? Even in your GS papers you do underlining. So what is the purpose? The purpose is to bring the focus of the examiner to that point. So what does it mean? It means if something is very important and you want that by any chance the examiner should not lose the interest, examiner should definitely see this point, then you underline that. ठीक है. एक और चीज है टीना दाबी, she was my student in the previous institute. Okay, so underlining को what you can do is you can underline one thing, or underlining means you are highlighting. Highlighting, if you want to say for example you are writing India is a secular country and you want secular to be underlined. So what you can do is India is a secular country, you can underline, or what you can simply do is India is, यहाँ पे इसको थोड़ा सा बड़ा कर दो, or write like this means you are highlighting. Her copies are also uploaded on the websites. So you can see how the different people are doing. The purpose of underlining is highlighting. So highlighting can be done either by bold लिख लो उसको या underline कर लो. But one thing should be very much clear. It should not be beyond 10 to 15% of your total essay. Otherwise लगेगा कि मतलब आप खुद पढ़ते पढ़ते हम जैसे underline कर रहे हैं ना वो. The purpose is lost. Is that if वो सब भी underline कर रहे हो, the purpose is lost. You wanted to show the person that this is something which is you should not miss. But if you are underlining every Tom, Dick and Harry, तो फिर उसका purpose loss हो गया. So underline should not be beyond your 10 to 15% of the total essay. ठीक है? Any other thing that you want to know? Yes? Huh? Okay. Limitation of word in a sentence. I have seen copies. Say this is a copy. Introduction, half page लिखा हुआ है, and that is complete one sentence. So it is like comma, inverted commas. मतलब वो कर करके उन्होंने पूरा एक sentence is your half page. So if you have good flow, very good confident, कोई कितना भी confident हो, यूपीएससी ऐसा एग्जाम है कि वहां जाके ये थोड़ा ब्लैंक होता है, ठीक है, कहीं कॉमा इधर लगता है, कभी वहां लगता है. तो to be on the safer side, because our purpose is to get selected. Our purpose is not to show our lexicon to the examiner. Lexicon बाद में दिखाना, select हो जाओगे, reports लिख के दिखाओ, ठीक है, editorials लिख के दिखाओ. But right now the purpose is to get at least 135, 140. So try to avoid very big sentences because you might commit an error under the examination conditions, pressure. So आप try to write smaller sentences. That is advisable. But it's again up to the individual. Yes? Yes? Yes, you can use but once, not all the time. जैसे जन धन योजना के बारे में लिख रहे, how it can bring financial inclusion, this, and then you can discuss, but not too much. And before going to the examination hall, please practice all this. ठीक है, वहां जाके practice मत करो. Practice यहाँ करके जाओ, and जितनी भी ये बातें हो गई है ना, इसमें just think if there is something left, so you can ask. Almost we have covered all the aspects, but above all, it's your practice. Practice makes the man perfect. ठीक है ना? तो you have to practice. Please write essays and show it. Show whom to show it. If you have a peer group, उनको दिखाओ. If you have some teacher, उनको दिखाओ. कई बार होते हैं कॉलेज के आपके अच्छे टीचर्स होते हैं. If you join some test series, please वहाँ जाके दिखाओ. At least review and discuss among your. If you don't want to join any test series, you don't have anyone, but you have a good friend circle. Sit and discuss. Go and see the toppers essays which have been uploaded on various websites. उनका essay देखो. But please do practice. जितनी भी हमने यहाँ पे बातचीत की है 2.5 hours, it will turn to 0 digit unless and until you practice. So please practice. Essay is one thing. Many people say that we have the natural flow. तो हमें क्या जरूरत है? Of course, Lata Mangeshkar has the natural voice, but every day she does the riyaz. So you need to do that. So don't be overconfident of your writing skills and don't be underconfident. I have seen people from Stephens and this and that. हार्वर्ड में भी जाके आए हैं, यूपीएससी भी देना है, बिकॉज दे आर फ्रॉम अ पर्टिकुलर 2-3 स्टेट्स जहाँ पे लाल बत्ती अब तो चली गई है, वो पावर का एक वो होता है. तो समथिंग, डोंट बी ओवर कॉन्फिडेंट, डोंट बी अंडर कॉन्फिडेंट, बट एट द सेम टाइम प्लीज डू प्रैक्टिस. इफ यू हैव अ गुड राइटिंग स्किल, एटलीस्ट 3-4 essays before the exam, and if you don't have it, at least 15 days में एक essay तो लिखो, और हर किस्म का essay लिखो. Philosophical, social, educational, moral, whatever. Right, yes. There was a question? Huh? No, that's what I am saying. Listen to Ira Singhal. She has scored 160, All India first ranker. You will believe? Do you have the format of UPSC with you? No, we can only believe in the people who have shown it. Okay? Even I have, in my times, I have done this. Underlining, subheading, I have done it. But it is way back. You might say कि यार 10 साल पहले आपने लिखा था, आज की बात करो. तो आज के तो you have the people, ना? You have Tina Dhabi's copy. She has underlined. She has bold में लिखा हुआ है. तो there are so many people.